but I do your will. Amen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing in this USF marching pride under the direction of Dr. Stephen Candow. Leads the band in playing our national anthem.
And we are back. Let's check in with Papa Cougar, Kevin Donnelly, the first and only head football coach here that the University of St. Francis has ever known, and coached 21 years. You know, we were talking during the week. It hardly seems possible, but here we go again. And, you know, we were reminiscing, thinking back to 1998, that very first bus trip we took, first game to St. X. Two bus drivers that didn't speak English, couldn't find the way there. Won the game, but a lot of water over the dam since then. But, you know, when you think back 21 years, I know the two national championships have got to be huge, but what kind of, maybe it's the kids that matters the most to you.
Well, that's what keeps me going. Gives me a reason to get up every day. It's young men that have been in the program from 1998 to today. That's our job. You know, it's not just about lining up and trying to win football games on Saturdays. Of course, you know, we enjoy that, and it's fun. And we're going to do our best to do that. But it's to see guys that have graduated 5, 10, 15 years out, see what they're doing, and maybe how their involvement being in this program have been significant in what they're doing with their lives.
You know, I know the two national championships are huge for you. The question I get from a lot of people now is this group coming back, and you got some veterans, but the question that a lot of people are asking me, is this group hungry enough to go after a three-peat? How do you answer that question?
Well, I guess time will tell. You know, I would think so, because many of them didn't play. There's a lot of new faces. We've got running back, 2 receivers, and 2 linemen back on offense. And we graduated 4 significant players on defense. So some guys that have been waiting in the wings, it's their opportunity. So I hope they're just as hungry as the rest, because, you know, now you look back the past 2 years in going back to back. I mean, it's just a great, fond memory that, you know, I will treasure the rest of my life. But, you know, life goes on. You can't rest on what you did yesterday, because today's staring you in the face.
You know, it's always great to have guys coming back like Justin Green, 2,000 yards a year ago, Eric Dutton, Pearson Harnish defensively, healthy P.J. Dean. I got to ask you, though, as you've seen now 2-a-days and getting ready for tonight's season opener, who's maybe that unknown, that kid that during the 2-a-days, the preseason practices kind of made its mark, you know, coming from left field, that maybe he's got a chance to do something special? Anybody stand out in your mind?
Well, you've asked good questions, Joe.
21 years, I'm sure.
I'd like to think we've got a guy that's played in his first game ever today by the name of Matt Crable at quarterback. And I hope that he's a very, very pleasant addition to the family here.
Well, he has got great football genes. His, obviously, his father, two-time All-American linebacker at Notre Dame, Bob Crable. How about Robert Morris coming tonight? Kind of an unknown. Obviously, we didn't play them last year, but every time we were 3-1 against the Eagles, but every time we played them, it's been a hard-fought game. I'm sure you're expecting the same tonight.
I am. They're talented. There's a couple of times we played them. They may have been better at a whole lot of spots. I mean, they've got guys. Look through their returners from this year. They got a lot of new guys, but they get a lot of transfers. Division I, they get junior college transfers. They got a transfer quarterback who's got 1 year of eligibility, so he's one and done. But they are athletic. They are talented folks, and they always have been. If you remember, in 2016, we had a goal line stand down here, and we don't make that, then we're traveling in playoffs, so the first title may have never come around. So they're a good football team. I think a lot of their coach, they'll be a tough one to handle. They'll be in the top 3 or 4 in terms of talent level that we run up against this year.
You know, if memory serves correct, that was Matt Muncie that made that
was.
game-saving touchdown.
That was Matt, and I mentioned that at the banquet. If he hadn't made that tackle, no, we wouldn't be here. So,
Best of luck tonight.
thank you, Joe.
Head coach Kevin Donnelly starting his 21st season as head man of the University of St. Francis Cougar football program, the winningest coach in the NAIA. The Cougars ranked number 1 in the preseason, of course, after that championship victory a year ago, their second in a row. Cougars just a magical year a season ago, 14-0, undefeated. Finished, of course, as the league champions in the Mid-East League of the MSFA. They beat Reinhardt University in that national championship game, 24-13. Robert Morris comes in tonight. The Eagles are coached by Jared Williamson in his 8th year. He's also the athletic director for the Robert Morris University athletic program. They were 2-9 a season ago, just 1-4 in the MSFA Midwest League, and they lost their last 4 in a row, including a 31-7 loss against St. Xavier University. By the way, just a quick note, there's not a lot of other action elsewhere going in to tonight. Most teams wait a week. They'll start college play next Saturday, but there are a couple of games. Missouri Baptist hosting Lyon College tonight, and a big one down south as number 6 St. Xavier's on the road at Marion in Indianapolis. The Knights are ranked number 15, so we'll try to get an update on that big ball game between 2 top 20 teams going on down in Indianapolis. Here tonight, though, it is the Cougars and the Eagles getting ready to kick things off here at the start of this 2018 college football season. We'll step out for a 30-second timeout and be back with more as we get ready for the coin toss, the meeting at midfield. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM. I tell you what, I'm going to take a chance. Let's just come back and hopefully, because the co-captains for us are out there already, that we'll get the coin toss in and not, we'll roll the dice. We'll see what happens here. So just the 30 to answer your question. Back at Bishop John M. Darcy Stadium, I'm Joe Parson. Glad you could join us for this Cougar season opener here tonight under the lights. Right now, by the way, cloudy skies, about 77 degrees, winds out of the southwest at 11 miles an hour. There is a growing chance of thunder showers, they tell us, starting at around 8 o'clock. So hopefully, at the worst, it might be some rain coming in here to Darcy Stadium, and hopefully no lightning and thunder. Cougars are idle next week, no game, either home or on the road. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday, September the 8th, as it'll be an all-Cougar affair, as USF on the road in Joliet, Illinois, facing the University of St. Francis, Illinois Fighting Saints. That will be a 4 o'clock kickoff time 2 weeks from today in Joliet, Illinois. Next home game, by the way, Saturday, September the 15th. Cougars will be facing the Fighting Bees of St. Ambrose, and a 12 noon normal starting time here at Darcy Stadium 2 weeks from today. Well, a year ago, season of tough luck for the Eagles. They lost 2 games by 2 points, 2 more by just 6 points, part of that 2-9 season. But the Eagles have always played close, hard-fought games against USF. Look back, their lone win came in this stadium, by the way, back in October of 2013. They won it 28-24 here on this field. USF actually led 24-14 after 3 quarters, but the Eagles shut out the Cougars 14-0 in the 4th quarter and won that ball game by 4 points. Introductions going on right now at midfield. We'll see if we can. Bob Bushy is our referee tonight. Don't think we're going to be able to pick up, we don't have our wireless down there on the field, so we'll just have to give you a kind of a visual indication of, there's a coin toss right now. Of course, Robert Morris gets to call it. And let's see what we've
St.
got.
Francis is 1 and Lycliffe is 1.
Looks like St. Francis has won the toss, deferred. So the Cougars and the Eagles ready to kick things off here tonight at Darcy Stadium. Glad you could join us tonight on Redeemer Radio. We'll take a break, and we'll be back to start the season. Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM. Welcome back, everybody. Glad you could join us. We're just about set to start things here tonight at Darcy Stadium. The Cougars won the toss, deferred. They will be defending and kicking away from the south end zone to our right. By the way, the winds, we mentioned, the weatherman says out of the southwest about 11 miles an hour. It's gusting, though, at times upwards about 15 miles an hour or more. So teams moving the football from right to left out of the south end zone. Well, those passes downfield might get a little bit of a boost. And maybe just the opposite as you're working from left to right. Brandon James, who had one kickoff return last year for 24 yards, is back deep. And we'll see who else is back there with him. As Gavin Gardner ready to kick things off for tonight. Gardner finished with 83 points, does the field goal kicking, finished second in the Mid-States Football Association. Here comes the kick, long end over end, down into the end zone, and they'll let it go. It'll be a touchback. Got to be careful about that because unlike high school, ball can be, it's a free ball and can be recovered. So it'll be 1st and 10. We'll see the Eagles with a brand new quarterback, a senior who did not play last year. He's a transfer out of Monterey Peninsula College, a junior college out there on the West Coast. 2016 with the Monterey Peninsula College Lobos. Threw for 25 touchdowns, was picked off 8 times, completed 62% of his passes. He was the player of the year in their conference out there. So opens up with a shotgun formation, 2 wide to the right. They flip-flop. Edward Clark, the running back, here's the give to him, and works off tackle, curls up the middle across the 25, and works the ball out to about the 28-yard line. Clark, a freshman last year, ran for 492 yards, had 2 rushing touchdowns, so he averaged about just over 5 yards a carry, picks up about 4 on that first carry of the game. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6. Big offensive line for the Eagles. They average 299 a man tackle to tackle. Motion, they flip-flop again. Clark to the left side now. Here's a play action fake and a throw to the left side. There's a catch for a 1st down up to the 37. Quick hitting play as the Cougars were playing off, and it'll move the chains, and the first down of the ball game goes to Robert Morris. And they'll have 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line. Ian Chapman and Andre Johnson up front along with Alex Ramirez. Ramirez goes 290. He's a senior. Fred Bush and Justin Moore are the tackles. They average 299 a man, tackle to tackle. Now they go into an I formation. Under center is a Cody Steele. Steele looks, deep handoff. They work off tackle left side, and running in there trying to make the catch. I should say Malachi Mannion pinching in from his defensive end. It will be a gain of 4 yards, though, for Clark, who's been the main ball carrier. He goes 5'10", sophomore, 200 pounds. Cody Steele, by the way, the quarterback, 6'1", senior, and 215. They'll stay in the eye. Early moments of the ball game, first possession, Robert Morris nearing midfield. Again, that deep handoff and a run right side. Here's Pearson Harnish that time. Got a piece of Clark. It'll be a gain, though, across the 45 to the 46, and we're going to have our first big third down call of the ball game, third down and about 2, as the Eagles try to reach their own 48-yard line. On third downs a year ago, they were 39% on third down opportunities. Straight I formation once again. Steele, there was movement at the line of scrimmage. Now backing away is Steele. Play clock shows still 10. Got a quick look at the far sidelines. Will they change the play call? They'll look again to Clark. He works off the left side, stacked up in second effort. He's going to get it, I believe. Did the ball pop free? They're going to bring a second effort. I tell you what, that's a good run by Clark because the Cougars had him stacked up for no loss, for no gain. Instead, they'll mark that ball up around the 49-yard line and the second first down of the ball game for Robert Morris. Cougars had him wrapped up but could not bring him down short of the first down stick. So new downs again. Kalen Brookshire just had 2 runs a year ago, 6-foot sophomore, 180. Clark again offset to the left side shotgun formation. Here's the deep handoff, and here's Clark straight up the middle and knocked down right about the line of scrimmage. Cougars got great penetration eventually right up the middle.
Jordan May and number 39, Eric Dunton.
Jordan May credited with getting in there, having a hand on the stop. Marcus Stepp also. 6'1" junior, 218 out of Bishop Dwenger. Had 39 tackles a year ago, 1 for loss. Call it about a half a yard gain. Let's call it second down and 9. Clock approaching 11.5 minutes. Time remaining in the opening quarter. Robert Morris, now they flip-flop the tight end to the right side. Michael Berry has been a big target there. Low snap. Steele has it. Throws the left side's got a catch. It'll be short of the first down inside the Cougar 45 to the 44. So again, the quick hitting play.
Number 11, Michael Moss. Tackle on the play by 41, Wilmer Cole.
This offensive line a year ago gave up 40 sacks. So that's, I'm sure, something that head coach Jared Williamson has really emphasized. Got to do a better job in that. Cougars now looking third down and 4. Defensively, taking on Robert Morris. I formation once again. Blitz being shown right side. Backing away. Play clock at 10. Under center, Cody Steele once again. Looking to take the handoff. Has got it. Looks to Clark. Clark trying to feel his way off tackle, and he's got another first down. He followed the right side. Justin Moore opened up the hole, and it'll be a gain down to the USF 40-yard line, and Robert Morris moving the football, their third first down of the ball game.
First down, Robert Morris at the Cougar 40-yard line.
Boys, some of the offensive linemen for the Eagles, they are big on the roster, and they look big when you're looking them down on the field. Not only as far as tonnage, but also with height. Steele again, under center, backs away, checks the far sidelines. Play clock is down to 11. Cody Steele, ready to take that snap from Ian Chapman. Now looks, runs himself. Now Clark off tackle, knifing inside the 40. Brings it down to about the 37-yard line. Gain of 3. Cougars felt coming in like it is most year, they'd have to lead the way with their defense.
37-yard line.
The offense has yet to make an appearance on the field because it has been 3 straight first downs by Robert Morris. And they've got Brookshire wide to the left side once again. This time it'll be second down and 7. It's back to the shotgun formation for Steele. Clark to his left. He drops to throw. Wesh is coming. They had him. They lost him. And a throw to the left side. That's thrown away. Hit the down marker. By the way, Cougars had a marvelous opportunity for a sack. That was Matthew Schwartz that came through there. But disrupted enough that he had to throw that ball away, and it'll bring up third and long as they try to work the ball down to the USF 30-yard line on this snap. Keith Franklin now checks in. He's the lone wide to the left side, 2 wide to the right, the wide side of the field. For Cody Steele trying to make a play, USF with 2 safeties back defensively. Now Steele walks away, is going to drop back to the shotgun formation. Clark will be flanked to his right. Third down call coming up. Steele with the snap, short drop, looks, throws to a spot, left side. That one's knocked down, and so is the receiver looking for a flag. Won't get it. They're going to rule that Franklin just slipped on his own, so it'll bring up 4th down. No penalty flag on the field. It'll bring up 4th down and 7. And USF about to get their hands on the football for the first time here this evening at home at Darcy Stadium. Edward Avila will come in to punt the ball away. Waits for the snap. Back at his own 49-yard line.
49, Tyler Haas.
Here's the snap to him, perfectly delivered. Kick is away, end over end. That's going to go easily into the, well, it takes a high bounce and into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. Well, that was tantalizing. It hit right at the 1-yard line, and instead of continuing on to the end zone, took a high bounce and then kicked into the end zone. So we have a timeout, no score, as Robert Morris was effective running the football, but come away with no points to the Eagles. And St. Francis now, as we'll get a first look at 6'4" sophomore quarterback, 230-pound Matt Crable.
The Cougars will start 1st and 10 on their own.
He was a transfer out of Grand Valley State and has got a couple of years of eligibility. Comes in Justin Green, who ran for over 2,000 yards. Get the call here. He works it outside. Green to the 20, 25. Straight arms one, 40, 35, and bumped out of bounds. That is got to be a late hit. Yes, sir. Kenny Kirkland could not hold up, as Green was a couple of steps out of bounds, and they're going to tack on 15 more yards on that penalty. That's the first penalty of the ball game. A year ago, Robert Morris averaged just under 70 yards a game in penalties.
Defense, number 6, 15 yards, out of the
So just like that, St. Francis now will move the football 1st and 10. See where they're going to mark that. Referee tonight is Bob Bushy. It'll take the ball into Eagle territory down to about the 45-yard line.
And that results in a Grumble Chrysler Jeep.
So Crable now sets up his offense once again. Cougar offensive line averaging 283 a man, tackle to tackle. Crable out of the pistol. Hands to Green again. Works off tackle left side. That time they're waiting for him at the pass. And it was Kenny Kirkland that time who tries to atone as he makes the one-on-one tackle for no gain for Justin Green. Green finished number 2 nationally with over 2,000 yards rushing, 2,031, 29 rushing touchdowns. That was number 1 in the NAIA. Also finished number 1 in the NAIA with 198 points. In the MSFA, he was over 100 points ahead of second place. Crable now 2nd and 10, wants to throw, no, goes straight up the middle, not much there, as there will be somebody lost a hat. It'll be one of the Cougars. Landon Myers getting the start tonight, 6'3" junior at center. Nick Shoemaker and Austin Smoger at guards. Ryder Burkett along with Reese Roney are the tackles. They average 283 a man tackle to tackle. A gain of 2 will bring up 3rd down and let's call it 8. USF trying to reach the 35 on this snap. Two safeties back now for the Eagles as Crable. Will it be his first pass attempt? And then he screens the ball near side. It's got Rocky James. Cuts to the 35. First down. Takes a big hit from behind. As flying into was Kareem Hammond. But Rocky James running with authority. Great to see him healed up and back. 51 catches a year ago. In limited duties, was off to a great start and then suffered an injury. It was compounded later in the year. Did have 7 receiving touchdowns. Crable wants to throw again. Time in the pocket. Now checks off. Flush to his right. He can run. Still looking. He throws to the end zone. Looking for a man down there. Dive for the ball is incomplete. That was Jordan Schmeling, who they are really high on. He's a sophomore out of Carroll High School. That one incomplete. They'll bring up 2nd down and 10. I mentioned Austin Smoger. Quick story, I had a chance to talk to Austin during the week. He was a little banged up over the last couple of weeks with some rib problems, so he was wearing a flak jacket, and he looked at me. Now consider that Austin right now on the roster at 304. He said, Joe, you know what bothered me most? Flak jacket added 10 pounds to the way I looked on the field. That was most upsetting to him. His grandmother listening out of South Bend. Hope you're enjoying. Here's P.J. Dean checks into the game off tackle. They have been really high on him. Missed all of last season due to injury. So P.J. Dean in there right now. He'll pick up about 5 yards to bring up 3rd and 5. Cougars in third down situations a season ago. They were number 3 in the nation and were 52% on third down occasions. And Kevin Downley might feel right now with the ball at the 26, might be in 4-down yardage area if necessary. Crable out of the pistol, Green back in there, takes the ball and looking to run. There's not much there. He got maybe a couple of yards down to the 24-yard line, so that will bring up 4th down. Green, they really keyed on him. Thomas Jackson in on the stop. So it'll be 4th down and a long 3 with 6:35 remaining in this first quarter. Rocky James comes in. Will Chrisman was in for a play, checks out of the ball game now. Schmeling will be joined by Dan Rixey wide to the right. USF trying to reach the 21-yard line on this 4th down bid. They'll work from the left side hash mark. Here's Crable, looks left side, throws the ball. It's a nice spin move. Rocky James still on his feet down to the 16. It'll be 1st and 10 USF. Nice, quick, crisp delivery by Matt Crable on the money. Rocky James, the 6'2 junior on the receiving end. So a new set of downs for USF now on the move inside the red zone. At the 16-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10. Cougars break the huddle as Landon Myers will bring him up to the line of scrimmage, ready to snap the ball. Green stays in now as the running back. James wide left, the lone wide to the short side of the field. Here's Green. No, Crable on a quarterback keeper play. Angles to the right to the 15, dragging tacklers down inside the 10, and got the ball down close to another 1st down. I believe they marked him down around the 9. Let's see where that ball's going to be spotted.
Number 18, Lansdowne.
He'll be short of the 1st down by about 2.5 yards. They will spot that ball at the 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2. Cougars can pick up a 1st down without scoring. Now they're going to bring in Chris Smith as a blocking back. Motion back to the wide side as here is Green. Green stop and go move inside the 5. Brings it down to the 4. Maybe gets another yard to the 3. A little pushing and shoving going on now. Chris Smith steps in now to separate Rashad Richards from Green. And we'll see Matt Komakevich for the first time tonight. Young sophomore, 178 pounds, 5'9". So the Cougars do convert. They'll have it 1st and goal inside the 5 at the 3-yard line. Again, trying to draw first blood in this ball game. Crable out of the shotgun formation. Motion right to left. And they'll look counter run. Here is Green trying to turn the corner. And they take the legs out from underneath him right at the 3. Good driving tackle there on the far sideline.
Brought down by number 3, Brandon James.
Brandon James credited with that knifing tackle. So it'll be 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal from the right 3-yard line.
Ball still nose of the football touching the 3-yard line. Cougars huddling up. Smith stays in there. Crable lines up actually with 2 protectors in. Green to the left, Smith to the right. Crable now looking. He's got motion again. It looks to hand the ball off. No, Crable kept it himself, curls back to the right on a counter run. Did not get in. Got down inside the 2. They'll mark him down just outside the 1. So Robert Morris defensively very stingy with the Cougars knocking on the door.
97, Matt Varga.
Fast moving first quarter. We're down just outside of 3.5 minutes already. Now James comes back in. P.J. Dean also comes into the ball game. Casey Call checks in as well. Rixey splits wide to the right side. So 3rd down and goal from the 2. And Crable barking out the signals. Takes the snap, looks, he'll roll to the right side, trying to get the end zone, dives and got in there. Touchdown, Matt Crable at the 3:06 mark, and the Cougars on the board with that diving Diving attempt into the end zone by Matt Crable. And I'll tell you what, that is a good way for a young quarterback making his debut for USF. Kevin Donnelly gets into the end zone, and the Cougars on the board to lead it at 6-0. Now Gardner comes on. He was 59-65, an extra point attempt, right-footed kick, long enough certainly, and it is good. So we have a timeout down below, and we'll be back after this 30-second break. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Taking out for the Cougars, 87, Gavin Gardner.
I want to remind everybody, Bishop Luers High School, a Catholic educational community that instills in each student dignity, integrity, respect, and responsibility. Catch the Luers spirit at www.bishopluers.org. Well, both teams in the early going here tonight have been able to effectively move the football. The Cougars got a stop when they needed it. And then on the ensuing possession, USF was aided after the kickoff, returned by Justin Green on a hit out of bounds that gave them field position to start a drive basically into Eagle territory. And Matt Crable, not sure that was a designed quarterback draw play or a scramble, but he was able to get into the end zone from 2 yards out, and USF leads it 7-0. Gardner with a kick that holds up somewhat. That's fielded at the 5. Return up the middle to the 15-20. Angled run to the right side. And they've got some running room all the way across the 35. Big return that time.
21 Amari Ferguson on the return. Tackle on the play by number 22, Stan Jackson.
So a good return that time as Omari Ferguson credited with the return. Gives Cody Steele great field position at his own 40. And the Eagles will go back on offense, trailing at 7-0.
40-yard line.
Michael Moss, 7 catches a year ago, 88 yards, getting into the ball game now. Steele under center's got motion. T.J. Simpson right to left. Here's the deep handoff. Clark off tackle. Now cuts it up and met by Eric Dunton right at the 42, the 43-yard line. Pick up 3. Clark, very impressive, runs hard.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
And helps when you got a couple of guys that go 340. Justin Moore, 6'6" junior, 340. And inside of him, 290-pound junior Andre Johnson.
Also in on the tackle for the Cougars, number 97, James Jamisic.
2nd down and 7. We're inside 2.5 minutes, time remaining opening quarter. 7-0 USF, 2 wide to the left. That includes Keith Franklin. He's up on the slot to the left side. Cougars 2 safeties back now. Clark offset, blitz coming up the middle. And here is Steele looking, penalty flags are thrown. Let's see if USF may have jumped across. Bob Bushy, our referee, will let us know momentarily. No, it's going to go the other way.
Number 71, 5-yard penalty, 6-7.
Ball start by the center, Ian Chapman. So that'll cost them 5 yards. Instead of 2nd down and 7, it becomes 2nd down and 12. Second penalty of the ball game against the Eagles. So they'll set the football down now. Nose the football just inside the RMU 38-yard line. They'll work from the right side hash mark, 2 wide to the left side. That includes Keith Franklin along with Kalen Brookshire. Now Steele out of the shotgun, 2 protectors in. Wants to throw the ball, steps up in the pocket. He's got running room for the 40, 45. Runs over Pearson Harnish. Well, you don't often hear me say that, but it'll be a good recovery after that penalty. And they'll mark the ball up at the 46-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and let's call it 5.
Brings up 3rd down and 4.
Cougars making some personnel moves right now, some changes. as the Eagles try to reach midfield with now 90 seconds remaining in this first quarter. 7-0 St. Francis on the Matt Crable touchdown run. Again, Franklin goes wide to the left side. I believe that's still Brookshire up in the slot. Now they flip-flop to type in Michael Berry. They have not tried to throw him so far tonight. And here's a quick throw to the right side, and that's a fingertip attempt, no good. Good coverage by USF as Marcus Stepp was there to defend. It'll bring up 4th down and still 5. And once again, they'll bring in the punt team. Looks like they may be making a change in their punt kick team. That may be Taylor Hasse in there. Tyler Hasse into punt. We were expecting Edward Avila. And here comes the kick. Might be partially deflected, as it's a short kick, and it will be down at the USF 33-yard line. As you can tell, that's the 6:23 coming through. Letting everybody know we have exactly 1 minute remaining left in this opening quarter, and it's St. Francis with their second possession of the ball game, leading it 7-0. Cody Steele so far tonight 2 out of 5 through the air for 16 yards. Now Crable will check in with the offensive unit, and he'll be joined by Justin Green, offset to the left side. And here's Crable, loads up the fire. He's got a wide open catch right side. Rixey steps out of a tackle, works to the 45, and up to about the 48-yard line, takes a big hit. Rixey playing well. Again, one of those banged up Cougars in that championship game. Duke Blackwell not expected to play tonight. We understand he is running, but they want to hold him out tonight if possible, and then, of course, the week off next week. And the next game would not be till September the 8th on the road. Good for first down, though, and here's Crable ready to take the snap again. Short drop, no, the draw. Hands to Green. Green running room, 45-40. Cuts to his right, and they are not going to catch him. It'll be Green inside the 10 to the 5, and a touchdown for USF. A touchdown run of 48 yards for Justin Green. And 29 rushing touchdowns a year ago. This one, good to the house. And the Cougars grab a 13-0 lead, just like that. Time of the score, 21-second mark. Gardner will come on to attempt the extra point. Gardner jumping up and down a little bit, waiting for the snap. There it is. Good hold. Kick is on the way. End over end and good. So, Cougars in lightning fashion, thanks to the Justin Green explosion up the middle. They lead it 14-0, and we'll be back after this 30-second break. This is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Gavin Gardner to kick off.
Welcome back to Bishop John M. Darcy Stadium. My name's Joe Parson. Opening night for both the University of St. Francis Cougars, ranked number 1 after an undefeated season and a national championship back in December, their second straight, and they have the lead, 14-0 over Robert Morris. So the Eagles with Brandon James back in kick return once again, getting ready to get it going once again. Gardner ready to make his approach. Lets everybody know, make sure he's got 10 more guys out there. Now approaches, line drive kick, tailing off to the left side, takes a high bounce, fielded at the 11. Here's a run to the left side across the 20 to the 25-yard line, and backpedaling across the 30 to the 33. That is an excellent kick return by Omari Ferguson once again. So Ferguson gives them a decent field position. In fact, the Eagles have had pretty good field position to start their drives here in this opening quarter. But they trail 14-0 as Cody Steele now breaks the huddle, brings him up to the line of scrimmage. And this time they'll show a one-back look. Too wide to the right, Berry. They'll flip-flop him, the tight end, to the left side. Steele under center, looks, stretch handoff, gives to Clark. Clark steps out of tackle at the 35, will nose forward to about the 37, just short of the 38. That is going to be the final snap of this first quarter. So the Cougars get 2 on the board. 1, a touchdown run by Matt Crable, and then the explosion by Justin Green for big distance. 14-0 USF with a timeout here after the first quarter. And we'll take a 1-minute break. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Choose from over 60 vehicles under $10,000. Visit drivekelly.com. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play.
And now it'll be 1st and 10 again. Robert Morris trying to put something together here now. They have 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. Cougars no action next week. Meanwhile, the Eagles, their home opener will be next Saturday in Arlington Heights, Illinois. They'll take on Davenport University. 3-eye formation behind Cody Steele. Steele looks and hands the ball. Here's an off-tackle run into Cougar territory to the 48-yard line. So the running backs attack with a 40, and we've been very impressed tonight so far in this game by Edward Clark, now a sophomore. They'll spot that ball about halfway between the 47 and the 48 of USF, call it a gain of 3. And 2nd down and a short 7. Brookshire this time flanked out to the left side. 2 protectors in as Steele sets up out of the guns. Got a little motion now by Brookshire. And dropping the throw. Looks, he's got a wide open. No, that one is thrown wide. They're trying to find Clark out of the backfield. Like Schumacher did a good job of sniffing that out and step for step with the speedy Edward Clark. So now it'll be 3rd down and 7.
7-yard line.
Steele 3 out of 7 for the night, 27 yards. Clark with 10 carries, 32 yards in this first half. Cougars kind of meandering around a little bit, trying to make sure they got their defensive calls coming in from the box overhead. 2 safeties back, Schumacher one of them. Joined back there by Jalen Moss. They're very high on Jalen. Now with 3rd down coming up, let's see, we may have a timeout being called by the Eagles.
Robert Morris.
Yeah, Robert Morris is going to take their first. 13:39 remains until intermission. 14-zip, USF ranked number 1. And we'll be back to Darcy Stadium. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM. By the way, a reminder that H&L Electric is your full-service electrical contractor. From commercial and industrial to residential, H&L can handle the smallest to the largest of projects for your business or your residence. Well, so far the rain has stayed away. Weatherman said maybe it might be moving in around 8 o'clock. So far we've had a quick moving ball game. 13:39 remains in the first half. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Steele now sets up out of the gun. And blitz is coming. And Steele loads, throws the ball, a diving grab for it at the 40-yard line. That's a good throw and a good catch. He kept it low where only the receiver was going to have a chance. That was Keith Franklin on the receiving end. Just ran down the field about 7-8 yards and squared up. And a good delivery by Steele. Gives him a 1st and 10 right at the USF 40-yard line. Now Michael Moss will be the lone wide to the right side. They'll stay with the offset eye to the left. Under center is Steele. Looks to Clark again. Clark starts right, cuts left, got a hole. Then caught from behind a little bit. Let's see if that was... thought Harnish might have caught him by an ankle. That stopped even a bigger gain. Nonetheless, though, it'll be a gain down inside the USF 35 to about the 34. Calls a pickup of 6, 2nd down and 4. Good job by that offensive line, kind of sealing things off. Cougars with 4 down defensive linemen, 2 linebackers in the middle, Dunton and Harnish. And here's a low snap, and Steele wants to throw. Has time, throws in the middle, has got a man down there, and there's a penalty flag. As that time Ryan Johnson got tangled up and ran right over, in fact, the intended receiver. And that was Caleb Brookshire that was the intended receiver. That will draw pass interference against USF. Cougars a year ago averaged just over 63 yards a game in penalties. So we will see.
Pass interference, defense, number 41. It'll be 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
No, they've got Wilmer Cole, but it was actually 21, Ryan Johnson, that get tangled up down there. The effect is the same, though. It's going to be a walk-off down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. So Robert Morris inside the red zone now, and a chance to cash in and get on the board. They trail at 14-0. Brookshire splits wide to the right, Franklin to the left. They'll be joined in the slot to the left side by Michael Moss. Pistol alignment now, they'll flip-flop Clark to the right side. And here is Steele with stretch handoff, hands the ball off, and boy, Pearson Harnish was waiting that time. Joined by Eric Dunton as they pinched in and limit that to about a half a yard gain. That is it. So 2nd down and 9, we'll call it. Steele walking away from the huddle.
2nd and 9 from the Cougar 18-yard line.
Waits for a new player to check in. Ezekiel Tulik. He's a freshman, true freshman, 170 pounds, 5'7". And he'll set up in the slot to the right side. 2nd down and 9. Spread offense 2 wide either side of the field. Empty backfield, actually. Berry's in there tight to the left side, and now let's see what we've got. Play clock is down to 2.
Timeout, Robert Morris.
Robert Morris was about to have delay of game, so they will burn another timeout with 11:35 remaining in this 2nd quarter. Still 14-0, but Eagles knocking on the door. When we return, this is
play coming home. From the crucial plays to the highlight of the game to the victory celebration, we are there. Summit City Sports isn't just a business. It's a group of companies investing in the youth of Fort Wayne athletics. It's because of Parkview Sports Medicine, because of Kelly Automotive Group, Indiana Wesleyan University, and Big Eye Fish, that we can produce our broadcast viewed by hundreds of thousands in Northeast Indiana and beyond. Support Summit City Sports. Become a sponsor. Join our winning team today.
Cougars on the field during the timeout. Kevin Downley does not go out on the field. He remains standing by his lonesome pretty much. right about the 46-yard line, but always that eagle eye watching everything that's going on with his football team. The only coach St. Francis has ever known, and the winningest active coach in the NAIA. Second down and 9 after the timeout. Robert Morris still with 1 remaining. Cougars all 3 of their timeouts. Now they have a one-back look. Motion left to right behind the line of scrimmage. Steele under center. Cody Steele, the senior, look back, wants to throw a screen. Now he throws the ball on the ground. He was surrounded by 3 Cougars. As coming through there was James Jamison applying the pressure. And he's got a high five with Jordan May as Steele.
Third down and 9.
No options. He had to get rid of that football. He did not want to take the sack. Did not play for Robert Morris last year. Is a senior this year. And if you missed the mention, when he was out west in a junior college, threw for 25 touchdowns as a sophomore. Third down and 9 now. Motion left to right behind the line of scrimmage. Pistol alignment now for Steele. Steele, short drop, looks right, loads, fires on the middle, and a one-handed attempt, no good. Trying to find Keith Franklin on the quick slant, no good. Bring up 4th down. And let's see if, well, Cody Steele does some of the kicking. Are they going to attempt a field goal here? No, they've got, I tell you, the roster and all the alignments that we were given are way off. So this field goal attempt will be a 36-yard field goal attempt right in the middle of the field. Low snap, kick is on the way. Looks like it's tailing off to the right, no good. So, no points on the board.
And the score remains 0. University of St. Francis 34.
So let's see.
Robert Morris University, nothing.
That was Donnie Young. So it remains 14-0 with 11:21 remaining here in the second quarter, and USF now will get the ball back. And a chance to try to run some clock and try to add to the lead.
We'll take over 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line.
We mentioned earlier, not a lot of other action tonight. Most teams will wait a week, start next Saturday night, or Saturday I should say. Missouri Baptist is playing tonight. They host Lyon College. But a big one down in Indianapolis as number 6 St. Xavier. We'll see the Cougars later in the year. They're taking on Marion. And here is a run.
Justin Green, the ball carrier.
As Green gets it up to the 20-yard line.
Not going to play by 47, Kenny Kirkland.
They have really done a good job of keying on Justin Green, except of course that one big run. Crable is 3 out of 4 through the air, 34 yards. Green with 8 carries and 81 yards. I do not think that includes that last carry. Call it still 2nd down and 10. Shotgun formation now. Wing back off the left side. Crable looks, hands the ball Green. Green needs a block and bounces it to the outside. Cuts it up and short out of bounds on the far side to the 23. Just nothing really opened up that time for Justin Green. Rocky James with 2 catches for 20 yards. And Rixey has 1 for 14. We may well see Crable go to the air now as James is in there, wide to the left. That'll be the short side of the field. Schmeling up on the slot to the right side. Rixey split wide of him. Shotgun formation now from Matt Crable. He's run for a touchdown tonight. Rolls to his right side, throws the ball on the run, and he's got a catch nicely on the fingertips for a 1st down. That is Jordan Schmeling out of Carroll High School. That's his first big catch of the year for USF. They'll move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 now, USF moving from left to right. And a 1st and 10 at the USF 32-yard line. Rocky James stays in. He'll be split to the left side. Schmeling just caught that ball. Moves up in the slot now. The wide side to the left. Rixey split wide to the right. Here's Green looking for a hole. He won't find it.
Justin Green on the play.
Trying to work off guard to the left side, but knocked down right about the line of scrimmage.
By number 8, Keon Lansdowne.
Yeah, they may give him a yard up to about the 33. Let's call it a pickup of 1, 2nd down and 9 coming up. Clock approaching 9.5 minutes time remaining until intermission. Same set with James and Schmeling, split wide to the left side, Rixey to the right. Cougars trying to reach their 42. They got a couple of downs to work with. Grable ready to take that snap. Option, rolls to the right, loops it in there and was looking for Rixey.
Grable's pass.
That ball kind of went in the middle between Schmeling and Rixey.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
And you get a feeling by the reaction of Dan Rixey that maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. So now it'll be 3rd down and 9. They'll stay with that same formation with Rixey the lone wide to the short side. Corners playing well off, by the way, about 10-15 yards. USF trying to reach the 42. 3 safeties back, by the way. Here comes the rush. Crable dumps it out in the flats. And a run. Schmeling bounced at second effort. Leans. Did he get enough for the first down at the 42? We'll have to wait for the spot of the ball. May have stepped out of bounds around the 41. That would be short by about a yard to bring up 4th down and 1. And with 9:03 remaining, let's see. Kevin Downey says, you know what? Let's bring on the punt team. So they'll bring Joe Nepper on, who had 42 punts a year ago, finished number 9 among punters in the MSFA, averaged 36 yards a punt, had 1 block punt a year ago, and did have a long punt of 67 out of Bishop Dwenger High School. At the snap, here comes the rush, kick us away. End over end, and that'll be fielded, and no fair catch as the return across the 30-yard line up to about the 33-yard line. Not sure if that was Ezekiel Tulloch as the returner, but we'll have a stoppage down below now as the Eagle offense will trot back on the field with 8:28 remaining here in the second quarter. Still 14-0 USF, getting 2 rushing touchdowns, one by Matt Grable, the newcomer at quarterback, taking over for Nick Ferrer, and the long blast run of, I think they said officially 47 yards by Justin Green. So Cody Steele will work again offensively. 1 back look as he's under center. Motion now right to left. And here is Steele, play action fake, rolls to his right, looking, throws over the middle. Nice fingertip catch at midfield, and that's right in the hand of Keith Franklin.
Number 13, Keith Franklin.
So Steele faking the handoff, rolling to his right, buying time, and a crossing pattern right in front of him, delivering it nicely on the run. Keith Franklin, and he'll carry down to the USF 44-yard line now. 1 timeout remaining for Robert Morris. Cougars have all 3 of theirs. It will be 1st and 10, Robert Morris on the march once again into Cougar territory. Brookshire splits wide to the right. Now they'll have Michael Moss in the game, wide left. TJ Simpson, they're going to reposition him as the fullback he's up in the eye. Deep handoff, Clark steps out of a tackle and into the second level. He runs. Edward Clark. Cougars had him stopped for an apparent big loss.
Number 20, Blake Schumacher.
Mitchell Thornberry in there. He had a shot to bring him down for about a 6-yard loss, but could not wrap up. And the little guy, Clark, does go 200 pounds and runs for a 1st down to the USF 33-yard line. Clock still moving inside, 7.5 minutes time remaining. Eagles going to stay with that same set. No, they've got Steele in a pistol lineman now, and they flip-flop 2 guys. Berry now, tight to the right. And here is Steele wants to throw. Loads, throws to the right side. A wide open catch. Are they in bounds? That's Brookshire made the catch, got a foot in bounds at the USF 21. And I'll tell you what, there was blown coverage by the Cougars. Nobody within 10 yards of him. Very fortunate he was running a little square-out pattern. As it is, though, Eagles knocking on the door again. They're in the red zone with 6:50 to play in the second quarter. 14-0, number 1 ranked USF on top. Simpson stays in. He'll be the up back in the eye. Clark, the tailback. In under center is Steele. Just one wide. There was movement. Walking away is Steele now. Still 5 on the play clock. Trying to get the play off. And looks to Clark. Clark cuts it up the middle. Spins off a tackle. Still running hard inside the 15. Maybe down close to the 14-yard line goes Edward Clark.
Talk about 31 runner,
Type of runner, you cannot make an arm tackle on that young man. They're going to mark that ball back to the 15. Nonetheless, it'll be a gain of 5.
15-yard line.
They'll stay in the I formation. Cougar crowd trying to urge up some defense now. Motion at the line of scrimmage. No harm, no foul. Play clock at 16. Plenty of time for Cody Steele to check off. He's under center now. Now he's got motion. They'll reposition Berry again off the right wing. And here's the snap. Steele hands to Clark. Clark trying to turn the corner right side. Couldn't get there. Gang tackled that time from 3. Silver-headed Cougar defenders. Dutton gets credit getting there first. That's a loss. Back outside the 15 is third down. Marcus Stepp also got in that play. Now, 4 new Cougars come in. And 4 leave. Jordan May will check back into the ball game. Malachi Mannion also back in, part of that foursome coming in. Third down and 5 from the 15-yard line. 2 wide to the left, the wide side of the field. 2 protectors in. Steele out of the gun. Here's the snap to him. 2-step drop. Steps up and they're sacked. He's knocked down as they got to him that time. And I think it was Jamison. Jamison's credited with the sack that'll bring up 4th down. And the loss back around the 22-yard line. Now, James Jamison out of Carroll High School. He had 6 sacks that led the Cougars a year ago. This will be a 39-yard field goal. And let's see, they're going to take their final timeout. Robert Morris. That'll stop the clock with 4:28 remaining. He missed earlier from 36 yards out. This will be a 39-yard attempt. And we'll step out as well.
The Chapel Project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus. It's on Mirror Lake. And the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way. Offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Sacks, had 1 fumble recovery, and 9 quarterback hurries.
39-yard field goal, number 23, Donnie Young.
Donnie Young in to attempt a 39-yard field goal attempt from the right side hash mark. Waiting for the snap. High snap, got it down though, and on the way. Does it have a chance? It does. 39 yards. Donnie Young gets Robert Morris on the board with 4:24 remaining after that miss from 36 yards. So that will make it 14-3 now. As so far, Robert Morris has the only points on the board here in this second quarter. And that will make it 14-3 as we bring our scoring sheet up to par on that. And we'll keep things right here. I mentioned USF, no game next Saturday. They'll take a week off. And then the next home game will not be until Saturday, September the 15th. It'll be a 12 noon kickoff against St. Ambrose Fighting Bees. 2 weeks from today, USF will be on the road in Joliet, Illinois, as they'll take on the Fighting Saints of USF Illinois. And that'll be a 4 o'clock Fort Wayne kickoff time. Cougars now with two kick returners. They're not expecting a deep kick. Casey Call, one of them, lines up at the 20-yard line. Here comes the kick, high end over end. And Green has it inside the 10. Works far sidelines, 20, 25. Tiptoeing down the left sidelines, getting by the defense once again, and then pumped out of bounds just short of his own 45. Justin Green doing what Justin Green does. Every time he touches the ball, he is a threat. And a good return. It'll be 1st and 10 USF at their own 44-yard line with still 4:16 remaining in this first half. And Matt Crable's got all 3 timeouts tucked away in his pocket if he needs them here in the late going. Now we're going to take a look at P.J. Dean checking in. Cougars very glad to have that young man back, missing all of last year. First and 10, blitz coming from the outside. Here's Crable, throws, he's got a catch, and still on his feet but giving ground. I'll tell you what, that was Matt Kominkevich. Let's see where they're going to spot that ball. He had it up around the 46 on the quick hitting play. A little different defensive look that time as blitz was coming from the outside both sides. When Crable picked it up, got rid of the ball quickly and turns that into at least a 2-yard gain. And it'll be 2nd down and 8 now. Clock 3:44 yet remaining. Wing back up on the right side. Out of the shotgun is Matt Crable. Looks to hand the ball. Dean starts right. PJ trying to straight arm one. Back pedals into Robert Morris territory. And did he get to the first down stick? Let's see where they roll him out of bounds. Looks like maybe a yard short at the 47. So they'll bring up 3rd down and a yard. Hurry up offense, no huddle for USF. Dean again curls up the middle, spins inside the 45. There's a penalty flag throw.
Dean, ball carrier, there's a penalty marker on the field.
Bob Bushy, our referee, will let us know what's going on. Cougars apparently were going to have the first down at the 38, or I should say at the 43. But USF backing up.
Holding. Offense, number 72, 10 yards, previous spot.
Landon Myers got caught that time for the hold, so that'll cost him some yardage. It'll still be 3rd down. But instead of 3rd down and 1, it'll be 3rd down and 11. Matt Crable so far tonight, 6 of 8 through the air, 55 yards. Green with 10 carries, 83 yards. By the way, long, that touchdown long of 52 yards. Now the blitz, defensive left side zone, up on Crable, and they've got him. He tries to escape and then brought down. That was Kareem Hammond who came in there late and finished off Matt Crable for the loss. So now it'll be 4th down, and with 2:40 remaining in this first half, it'll be Robert Morris about to get the ball back and no timeouts remaining.
He's up 4th and 16 on the Cougar, 38 yard
Cougars
line.
going to try to let as much of that clock go off as they can in this 14-3 lead. Cougars have not scored in this second quarter. Both touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, came in the first quarter. One by Crable and one by Justin Green. Nepper gets ready now to receive the snap at the 25, steps up, got it away. End over end kick on the fly, that is caught. And the ball popped free. Marcus Steps got it. 30-yard line and bumped out of bounds. USF with a minute 58 gets the ball right back. So the Cougars with a break. One bounce came right in the hands of Marcus Stepp. So 1st and 10 Cougars. They'll still have the football. And let's see where they will mark that ball.
Cannot be spotted at the 37-yard line.
Looks like they'll spot it at the 37 of Robert Morris. So let's see what Matt Crable can do with the opportunity now. Still 3 timeouts remaining. Chris Smith will check in again, sets up on the wing. No, Matt Crable says, I want you on the right wing. Rixey, the lone wide to the right, the short side of the field. Crable out of the pistol now, waits for the snap, has got it. Play action fake, wants to throw. Throws over the middle, he's got Rixey. He's got the catch, he's got a touchdown. One play, one touchdown. Crable delivered it on the money. Rixey for 47 yards. And a Cougar touchdown to make it 20-3. Time of the score, 1:51. So the Cougars do get on the board. Crable is first passing touchdown for the Cougars. And that one looks so easy. Rixey got a couple of steps ahead of everybody. Now Nepper the hold, right-footed kick by Gardner on the way, and it is good. So, the Cougars do score and tack on the extra points. 21-3 with a timeout down below. We'll step out. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team.
I mean, I always had my family behind me, I always had my team behind me, but to have staff that wanted the best for me and to get me feeling better the quickest was really reassuring.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on. When you experience a sports injury, muscle, or joint pain, you want treatment right away. Parkview Ortho Express provides same-day orthopedic and sports injury care without referral or appointment, offering diagnostics, x-rays, the region's only body composition DEXA scan right inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. Walk in Monday through Thursday, 7 to 7, Friday, 7 to 5, and Saturday, 8 to noon. For more information, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com/orthoexpress.
Getting ready to kick it away from left to right once again. 21-3 though. Lead grows to 18 points. That's the biggest lead of the night for USF. Brandon James, one of the 2 kick returns for the Eagles to our right. Gardner approaches, hits it long, deep end over end, coming down inside the 5. And a return up the middle, across the 10, 15, angled run to the 20, cut back right side, running room, 40, 45, now a foot race, 40-yard line, and saving tackle, one man there to make the tackle at the Cougar 32-yard line. Gardner made the tackle that saved a touchdown. So a great return. Thought we heard an indication there might have been a penalty. There is a yellow flag down inside the 20-yard line. Let's see what this is going to be about. Officials conferring, 2 of them with Bob Bushy, our referee. Which way is it going to go against? We'll find out in a moment.
Personal foul, unsportsmanlike, and the kicking to the number 45. It'll be 15 added to the end of the red. First down.
That goes against St. Francis.
That was his first charge, unsportsmanlike of the game.
Did not catch the number. If it was 45, that's Devin Green. Let's hope that's not the case. But as it is, it will be even a better opportunity. Remember, Robert Morris has no timeouts remaining, 1:38 on the clock. But they've got an opportunity now to get into the end zone for their first touchdown of the night. It'll be first down and 10 with the ball at the 15-yard line. Well, we've had several twists and turns already in the first half of this ball game, but USF leads it right now, 21-3. 2 protectors in for Steele out of the shotgun, 2 wide to the left. There was movement at the line of scrimmage. No harm, no foul. Able to get back onside. Steele walking away. Play clock inside of 10 now. Sets up out of the shotgun once again. Here's the snap. He looks to throw. Steps up. Now giving ground. Then they got him sacked back outside the 20-yard line. Relentless pursuit. Malachi Mannion gets credit for the sack.
Malachi Mannion of the Cougars.
So the Cougars pinch in, and then they'll move the ball back outside the 20 to the 23-yard line. And clock moving again. We're down to 1:15. It'll be second down and 18 with the ball back around the 23-yard line. Steele taking a lot of time. We're down to 105, 104. Same formation. Short drop. Look, steps up, throws on the run. Tip ball in the air. Incomplete. Not sure who got a hand on that ball upfield. Might have been Harnish. Schumacher also was back there in the vicinity. But now it's third down. We're down in 23. Donnie Young is hit from 39 yards on one of two field goals. But again, they would have to get the ball down to about the 5-yard line to convert on this snap coming up. Michael Moss checks in. He's sent to the short side, wide right. Too wide to the left side. Here's Steele out of the gun. Blitz is coming, steps up. He's got running room, throws short and into the ground. Nobody home. Michael Moss looked like he had a couple of steps in the end zone, but Steele could not adjust as he moved up in the pocket. So it will be fourth down, and they will bring Young on to attempt the field goal. This time it'll be from 40 yards out. In fact, maybe closer to 41. It will be from 41 yards out, again from the right side hash mark. He missed from 36 and a hit from 39. High snap again, kick us away. Does not have enough on it. Will not be nearly far enough. So second miss of the ball game. And it remains 21-3 with St. Francis now taking over the football, and still all 3 timeouts remaining, but just 46.9 seconds remaining until intermission. We are hoping to be able to bring you an update score from down at Indianapolis in that big matchup between two top 20 teams, as the 15th ranked Knights of Marion were hosting number 6 St. Xavier. And of course St. Francis will face both those teams later in the year. Now the Cougar offense trots back on the field. Justin Green will join him as the running back. Green so far tonight with 10 carries, 83 yards. And here is the draw coming up. Green works to the left, a little bit of running room, works to the 40, 35, 40, 45, and bumped out of bounds up around midfield. Justin Green, just as an amazing runner. Get him a little bit of daylight, and he just seems to glide past rookie tacklers. So suddenly now with 39.9 seconds remaining, the Cougars just short of midfield at their own 48, but with a 1st and 10. And let's see if USF is greedy. Looks like they've got a weather issue down in Indianapolis. We'll tell you more about that. Here's a home run ball thrown up to the left. Right, reaching out for it, but was Rocky James could not find the handle. He laid out for it at the 15-yard line. Just a little bit overthrown. That'll take the clock down to 34.2 seconds remaining. And if you had any doubts, Matt Crable hungry for more. His team leads 21-3. Crable has thrown for a touchdown and run for a touchdown tonight so far in the first half. Now Kamenkevich comes in, sets up in the slot to the right side. Split wide of him will be Rixey. Rixey's caught a touchdown tonight. And here's the blitz coming up the middle. Crable looks, dances, throws into a slot. Rixey had it, dropped it. That had some mustard on it. Rixey, though, he'll tell you that's what he should have had at the 36. And now they'll bring up third down and 10, still 28.7 seconds to play. Cougars can pick up a first down inside the 43-yard line, actually at the 42 of Robert Morris.
3rd and 10 from the Cougar 48-yard line.
Ball right now at the 48 of St. Francis. It'll be a shotgun alignment. Spread offense, 2 wide either side of the field. Let's see if the Eagles come with a blitz again. They're showing blitz defensive right side. Crable long count. Looks on the draw. Hands to Green. Green trying to cuts back middle of the field. Spins off a tackle. is able to go out and get across midfield to the 49. That will not be enough. And St. Francis can simply let the clock run out here and head to the halftime dressing room. I believe that's exactly what Kevin Donnelly is telling his team. Come on, fellas, let's regroup here at halftime. Good first half, and USF headed to the halftime dressing room on top of visiting Robert Morris at 21-3. So we'll take a timeout, and we'll be back with our halftime presentation after this 1-minute break. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF, 106.3 FM. 1 minute, sir. We seem to be running just about on time tonight.
Next month, Sir Elton John will begin a 3-year farewell tour, ending a storied music career spanning over 50 years. Throughout that time, Elton John has won numerous awards in the music, theater, and film industries. Tonight, the USF Marching Pride opens their season by paying tribute to this legendary artist. We begin with Elton John's first song to reach #1 on the U.S. charts, released in 1972. This is Crocodile Rock.
No sports team tonight, just Joe. Welcome back, everybody, to Bishop John M. Dorsey Stadium. Halftime here, and USF flexing their #1 ranked muscles in the first half. They lead to the visiting Robert Morris University Eagles 21-3 here at the halftime break. Look at the line score of the ball game. Cougars put 2 touchdowns on the board in the opening quarter, added 1 more in quarter 2. As Robert Morris, 3 field goal attempts. They are 1 for 3 tonight. Misses coming by Donnie Young from 36 yards and most recently from 40 yards out, but sandwiched around a made field goal of 39 yards that made it at that point early in the second quarter at 14-3. The reason it was 14-3 is Matt Crable got the Cougars on the board first at the 3:06 mark with a, I'm going to call it a quarterback draw, not a scramble run, but working to his right, and then Crable looked like they were going to bring him down short of the goal line, but able to just to reach out and get enough leverage to take the tackler and himself into the end zone. Good for a 2-yard carry, and the young newcomer at quarterback, Matt Crable, with the first touchdown of the season for USF, as Gavin Gardner then came on and added the extra point, 7-0. Then Justin Green, who had been really somewhat contained, had a couple of nice runs, but by and large, Robert Morris, keying on Justin Green, had bottled him up until 21 seconds remain, as Green was able to bust free for a touchdown run up the middle for 52 yards, and the blast run by Green would make it 13-0, and that lasted until Gardner would come on and add the extra point to make it 14-zip. Young would have a chance to get the Eagles on the board, missed from 36 yards out. But he would get another chance, 4:29 remaining in the second quarter, hit from 39 yards out on a field goal by Danny Young, 14-3. Then the Cougars were forced, after a sack on Crable, to kick the football away, but it was coughed up and bounced on one bounce straight in the air, right in the hands of Marcus Stepp. That would set up the USF Cougars at the Eagle 37-yard line, and one play later, Matt Crable would spot a wide open Dan Rixey running the deep post pattern, good for 37 yards, and capitalizing on that fumble recovery and turning it into a 37-yard touchdown pass at the 151 mark. Gardner again with the extra point, 21-3, as a Young missed on a 40-yard field goal attempt as the first half did come to a conclusion. Well, the Cougar Marching Pride entertaining here at halftime. I want to remind everybody that the St. Felix Catholic Center in Huntington, Indiana, offers one-day and overnight retreats with over 70 rooms. Be sure to visit Our Lady on her grotto and walk the 30 scenic acres. St. Felix is the former home of Blessed Solanus Casey. Visit their website at sfcatholiccenter.com to schedule your next meeting or retreat. We are going to take a break, and we'll come back. We'll take a look at scores elsewhere. Not many games going on in this early part of the season. Just a couple of games, in fact, in the MSFA. We'll look in on those and talk more about opening night here at Darcy Stadium for the number one ranked and defending two-time national champion USF Cougars. 21-3 as we leave, and we'll be back in 1 minute. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM. Back at Darcy Stadium, I'm Joe Parson. Halftime here. Cougar Marching Pride entertaining here at halftime. As we mentioned, there were two other games going on tonight. We have a first quarter score from out in St. Louis as Missouri Baptist has the 7-0 lead on Lyon College. The game that was supposed to start at 6 o'clock down in Indianapolis between number 6 St. Xavier and number 15 Marion. We understand, I'm not sure if that's a weather-delayed game, but they have moved that start now, they say, to 7:05, so they should be just about 10 minutes in the start of that ball game. And, of course, everybody in Cougarland very interested because St. Francis, obviously with the natural rivalry with Marion over the last several years. And then, of course, we'll play both St. X and Marion later in the year. In case you missed it, the Cougars idle next week. They'll take a week off, and they will have their next action 2 weeks from basically today in Joliet, Illinois on the 8th of September. And it'll be all University of St. Francis. The USF Cougars will take on the USF Fighting Saints in that ball game in Joliet. It'll be a 4 o'clock kickoff Fort Wayne time. And if you're driving over 3 o'clock, remember they're an hour behind on Central Time. As far as the next visit for St. Francis to Darcy Stadium, that'll be in 2 weeks on September the 15th. It'll be the usual 12 noon, high noon start. And it'll be the Fighting Bees of St. Ambrose coming into Darcy Stadium and take on the Cougars on September the 15th at 12 noon. Well, we are hoping to get a chance to look at some stats. The screen that we've been given just went dark, and we'll hope that that is not for a mechanical reason, and it'll be coming back up here soon. But what we might do is tell you about these two teams last year. Cougars in the 2017 season, part of that 14-0 run to their back-to-back second national championship, in which they beat Reinhardt University in December down at Daytona Beach 24-13. Cougars averaged 43.6 points a ball game. That was number 8, actually a tie for number 8 nationally, second best in the Mid-States Football Association. Robert Morris a year ago averaging just only about 23.3 points a game. That was third last. Now that I know it had to be a focal point with their head coach Jared Williamson. And what's amazing is this is a team that's got talent, as Kevin Downey talked about in the pregame. They've got the ability to move the ball. Edward Clark has looked very good. Cougars last I saw had held him under 50 yards in the first half, but very quick striking type of slashing runner, and has really been really one of the bright spots offensively so far for Robert Morris here tonight on the road. Cougars gave up only 17.2 points a ball game. That was number 1 in the Mid-States and number 3 nationally. Meanwhile, Robert Morris gave up just under 30 points a ball game. But the big stat was through the air with Nick Ferrer. He was all everything, wasn't he, for St. Francis, as he averaged over 300 yards. Cougars as a team averaged 312 yards passing offense, number 1, topping everybody in the Mid-States Associate, number 10 nationally. Meanwhile, Robert Morris through the air averaged just about 240 yards a game. What catches your eye, though, the Eagles played pretty good defensively against the pass. They gave up less than 189 yards a game through the air. That was second best among all Mid-States Football Association teams. And you look at USF through the air, they gave up 205.9 yards a game. Cougars did well on the ground as a team. They ran for an average of 178 yards a game, third best in the MSFA. Robert Morris averaged 136.2. But the Cougars really excelled defending against the run. They gave up less than 93 yards a game each and every game, ranked number 1 in the MSFA, number 5 nationally. And the Eagles averaged giving up an average of 179.5 yards a game. Turnover margin, Cougars were 15 plus to the good side, number 6 nationally, number 2 in the MSFA. Eagles were -3. And also a big stat on third downs. Cougars were 52% on third down opportunities compared to 39% for Robert Morris. Again, these are 2017 stats. As far as sacks versus sacks given up, Robert Morris had 20 sacks on the year. USF had 25. Cougars gave up 24. But Robert Morris, last in the Mid-States, they gave up 40 sacks. A year ago, they've given up 2 big ones tonight that really, when they had drives in the making, potential drives, the USF was able to stymie them and force them into 3 field goal attempts. Only one has been good. That one by Donnie Young from 39 yards out. He has missed from 36 and from 40 yards. Cougars with 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 1 through the air, and they lead here at halftime over visiting Robert Morris University at 21-3. We'll step out. We'll take another 1-minute timeout. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana. Okay, I'm not 100% sure where we're at. Is this the Knights of Columbus Insurance? Oh, okay. So we got one more 30 before halftime, or before the second half. Okay, sounds good. I got you. That's fine. Okay. Well, the specialists have come out, so we're just ahead of the start of the second half. USF on top here, ranked number 1, leading 21-3. Cougars won the toss, deferred. They'll get the ball to start things off in this second half. Wanted to take a look at the series between these two teams. Cougars and the Eagles did not meet last year. USF leads the all-time series 3-1. But as we mentioned, what catches your eye, and I'm sure Coach Donnelly is aware of it, that the last win, the only win by Robert Morris, came on this field back in 2013. And the USF Cougars, much like tonight, led in 2013. They led 28-, no, that was a 20-24 final. USF led 24-14 after 3 quarters, but never scored again. And Robert Morris in that fourth quarter outscored St. Francis 14-0. They came away with a 28-24 victory. As far as USF, had a win in 2014 at Arlington Heights, 38-20. No real blowouts in these games. 2015 in Illinois also. Final was USF 38, Eagles 29. And in 2016, 2 years ago, St. Francis survived to win at 28-21. Coach Donnelly talked about that in the pregame as Matt Muncy was called upon to make a game-saving tackle just short of the goal line as the Eagles had a chance to come back in the final seconds and steal victory, but not to be done, and the Cougars went on to win their first national championship in 2016. So it just shows how every play, every snap, and until 000's up on the board, that it's never over until it's over. Well, we're seeing some of the other numbers now come back. Matt Crable was 7-11 in the first half through the air. No interceptions, 1 touchdown, 92 yards. Justin Green on the ground, 12 carries, 111 yards. Big run of 52 yards for that touchdown. P.J. Dean with a couple of runs for 12 yards. And Matt Crable, 4 carries for 6 yards and a long of 8. Rixey with 2 catches, 51 yards, a touchdown. Rocky James also with 2 catches, 20 yards. And the rest of the receivers, Schmeling has 1 for 18, P.J. Dean 1 for 9, and Mike Moss also with a catch for 7 yards. And as soon as it's Cody Steele, who was 6 of 14 through the air, 69 yards, no touchdowns. Let's check Edward Clark on the ground. 15 carries, 55 yards, a long of 11. Cody Steele also with 3 scrambles, good for 7 yards in the first half. Keith Franklin leads them with 2 catches and 29 yards. Brookshire also with a couple of catches and 24 yards. Michael Berry, 1 catch for 9 that came early, and Mike Moss has 1 for 7.
Hey, here we go. Round 2.
So the coaches getting ready to come back here and get ready for the start of the second half. Both teams now coming back out and warming up. We'll step out for a final timeout, and we're ready for the second half coming up. And keeping our fingers crossed that the rain that weatherman says may start coming in around 8 o'clock stays away until this one goes into the books. 21-3 USF. And we'll be back. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana. I'm sorry? Okay. Well, that young man is going to have another fantastic year. Eric Dunton, joined by Pearson Harnish, the 2 bookend linebacker seniors. As we mentioned, Pearson Harnish a year ago had 125 tackles. Eric Dunton actually beat him with 133 tackles. They were number 1 and number 2 nationally in all of NAIA football. Dunton finished with 11.5 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 5 quarterback hurries a year ago. Meanwhile, Pearson Harnish, who by the way is a new daddy, got a brand new baby. He and his brand new wife. Finished with the 125 tackles, 17.5 tackles for loss. That was 3rd best in the Mid-States Football Association. 1 fumble recovery, and 4 sacks and 7 quarterback hurries. So when you look at some of the veterans returning, some holes to fill, but some guys that saw some minutes. Malachi Mannion comes to mind. He's had a sack here tonight. Finished with 28 tackles, 3 for loss a year ago. James Jamesich, also with a big year, led St. Francis with 6 sacks a season ago. Jordan Mayback, a veteran now, 246, a senior. 6 tackles for loss a year ago, 28 tackles in all. Wilmer Cole, Ryan Johnson, Stan Jackson back. Marcus Stepp, who's had a fumble recovery, set up that late touchdown for USF for 37 yards. And the newcomer that they're raving about, Jalen Moss, a 6'1 sophomore. And Blake Schumacher, very steady safety defender. Had 44 tackles a year ago, 1.5 for loss. Led the Cougars with 5 interceptions. So a great nucleus defensively coming back and playing very well, giving up only the lone field goal to Robert Morris in this first half. Final seconds ticking off the clock here at the end of intermission. USF will be getting the ball first to start this second half. They have not really had a chance to check the weather here tonight in Fort Wayne. Here we are to look at the stats. Bill's got our SID, handing them to me. We'll give you a look at some of the team numbers. Cougars had 18 carries in all, 129 yards. Total offensive yards, 221 by USF in the first half. Robert Morris had 117 total yards. Kickoff return yards, Robert Morris, 3 kickoff returns for 123 yards. Coach Donnelly will be talking about that.
Kicking out for the Eagles, number 23, Donnie Young.
As far as penalties, Eagles had 2 for 20, Cougars 3 for 40. Third downs, Cougars were 3 of 7 in the first half, Robert Morris with 3 of 8. And the Cougars cashed in their only chance in the red zone. They were 1 for 1. Other than that, they hit on big plays. So Robert Morris will kick it away out of the north end zone from left to right as we look at it. Justin Green sets up. He had 17 kickoff returns a year ago, finished number 1 in the Mid-States Football Association, averaging over 30.5 yards a kick. High, short, end over end. That'll be hit in one time. Green handles it on one bounce, works to the 20, 25, gets to the outside, 30 yards, 45, 40, 45, 50, and a foot race. He's got a chance. One man to beat inside the 10. If it stands up, it'll be a touchdown run of 80 yards on the kickoff return touchdown for Justin Green. He had 2 kickoff returns a year ago, one of 96, this one for 80 yards. Don't see any flags. There was a late big block that eliminated any chance for Robert Morris, and you had to wait to make sure that it was going to stand up, and it does. So what a way to begin a second half of a ball game. 80-yard kickoff return touchdown by who else? Justin Green. That took 15 seconds. Now the extra point on the way. And Gardner knocks it through the uprights. 28-3 just like that, and we'll be back in 30. Cougars on top by 25. Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana. That didn't take long. You know, we were passing along a lot of stats earlier. One we forgot to mention, how about all-purpose yards? Justin Green a season ago, he averaged over 193 yards a game in all-purpose yards. That not only was number 1 in the Mid-States Football Association, but number 1 nationally. And Green off to a great start again, as the Cougars now lead it by 25 points in a 28-3 ball game. So Gardner, who knocked through the extra point, gets ready to kick away from right to left. And the Eagles shell-shocked by that 80-yard return. Kind of a weird start to as the ball bounced at the 1. Here's dropped at the 1. Return across the 5 to the 10. Trying to get to the outside. They won't get it done. That was Brandon James. So the Eagles will start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10, down 28-3. Eagles will be back in action next Saturday. That'll be their home opener in Arlington Heights, Illinois, taking on Davenport University.
13-yard line.
Cody Steele in that first half, 14 of 6 of 14 through the air, 69 yards. And Clark with 15 carries, 55 yards, along of 11. First snap from scrimmage now for the Eagles. And they'll look, here's a little razzle-dazzle as they pitch the ball to the left side. And boy, Cougars stayed home, weak side right, nothing doing. And that's going to be a loss. They're trying to get Michael Moss on a reverse, coming back right to left. But the Cougars stopped that for about a 3-yard loss. So we'll bring up second down and 13. Jordan May starts out now the second half at left defensive end. In the middle is Swartz, 267-pound junior. Pearson Harnish, also one of the linebackers there, shows blitz up the middle. Here's Steele takes, and there's the rush on, and they've got him. No, it's Steele got away, but wrapped up right around the 5 or 6 yard line. Boy, they were coming that time. Jamesich actually had the chance to Steele for a moment, but the 215-pound senior quarterback able to escape and get back up to the 6 yard line. That's still going to be a further loss to bring up third down and 17. Cougars, though, initially had them wrapped up around the 1. Now they'll go with the I formation, and the tailback Clark is lined up 2 yards deep in the end zone. Little motion from the right wide out, and now an off-tackle run. And that's Clark, who is able to bring it out across the 10, short of the 15-yard line. So it'll be a quick 3 and out. And the Eagles will have to punt the ball away, and St. Francis is going to get pretty good field position, obviously. Matt Kominkevich is in there at punt return. He will set up at the Eagle 47-yard line.
Deep for the Cougars, number 1, Matt Kominkevich.
Eagle punter at the goal lines needs a good delivery right here. Here's the snap. Good delivery. Kick us away. Right down the middle, backpedaling. Kominkevich at midfield. Starts up the middle, cuts left. Works to the 45, to the 40. Turns the corners, got a blocker in front. He's on his way. May have stepped out of bounds inside the 15. Whistles did blow. And it will be first and 10 USF as Matt Kominkevich will have USF down deep, first and 10 at the 17-yard line. Funny story about a year ago, Justin Green, as we mentioned, with
we'll hold on. Number 4, 15 yards from the spot of the foul.
Holding foul against St. Francis. Jalen Moss is going to be whistled. That'll back them up. They'll still have good field position. But that story about Kominkevich, Justin Green normally does the kickoff returns, but he came up with a case of stomach cramps. He was not available. So Matt Kominkevich, who was a freshman, called upon. He returned it for a touchdown, and how about that for a debut? 21 Marion at the end of the first quarter. Thank you, Bill Scott. So the Knights, ranked number 15, have got the better of it over St. Xavier, 21-0 in the first quarter. Ball now is at the 42 of Robert Morris. Matt Crable's gone all the way tonight at quarterback. Play action fake, throws in the flats. He's got Chris Smith. Smith upended, but gets another yard inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. That'll be good in all for about 4 yards to bring up second down and 6. Good to see Chris Smith involved offensively. Normally has to do that dirty work of blocking only. He's a 225-pound junior.
Second down.
Now the ball inside the 40 at the 39. And Crable again looking to hand the ball off. Green spins off a tackle, but they come in gang tackling fashion and knock him down. They're going to give him a good spot of the ball just slightly inside the 40-yard line. Well, that's something that Robert Morris has done. I know you look at Justin's stats, 12 carries and 111 yards, but by and large, especially those carries up the middle, other than the 52-yard blast play touchdown early in the game, the Eagles have really done a good job of keying on him and trying to minimize what he has been able to do, but still over 100 yards on the ground. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Blitz coming. Here's Crable in the middle, looking, throws on. It's got Rocky James. James keeps his feet, cuts back to the left, needs a block, got it. 25, 20, and angles out of bounds, and now late hit out of bounds again against Robert Morris. I mean, they're 3-4 yards out of bounds. So the Eagles lacking some discipline, getting frustrated with 10:55 remaining in this third quarter. Bob Bushy, our referee, talking to 3 of his crew. We'll see, again, sort that penalty out.
Marker on the field.
Get the official
There
count.
are 2 fouls on the play. Personal foul, defense, roughing the passer, number 45. That will be enforced half the distance to go. Dead ball, late hit, personal foul on defense, number 46. That'll be half the distance to go. First down.
2 personal fouls against Robert Morris. They rubbed Crable, and then the out-of-bounds hit on Rocky James. So we will see where that ball is going to be finally marked down. It looks like right around the 4-yard line is where they'll set it down. So it will be 1st and goal at the 4 after the penalties. Crable out of the pistol, 2 protectors, hands to Green, wants to work to his right, cuts it up, looking for the end zone, and he scampers in there. 4-yard touchdown run, Justin Green. He has done it all tonight, folks. Had the kickoff return touchdown of 80 yards. Had a 52-yard touchdown in the first quarter. Now, much shorter distance, 4 yards at the 10:41 mark.
On the attempt, the extra point for the Cougars, 87, Gavin Gardner.
And Gardner trying to make it 35-3. Here's the right-footed kick, and again, got all of that once again on the way, and it is good. 35-3 USF, starting to stretch things out here in the third quarter. We'll be back. This is Cougar Football and Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana. Looking at some of those other first-time stats that we didn't really get a chance to mention, Cougars actually possessed the ball for just over 13 minutes compared to Robert Morris, had it just under 17 minutes. As far as fumbles, the only fumble in the game, that fumble on the kickoff that was recovered by Marcus Stepp, that set up the 37-yard touchdown toss from Crable to Dan Rixey. Green tonight, 2 big runs. One from 52 yards from a snap from scrimmage. Then the 80-yard touchdown, John, on the kickoff return to open up the second half. And now the walk in the park 4-yard touchdown run to make it 35-3. Cougars ready to kick it away again. High, end over end, down the far side. That'll be fielded inside the 5 at the 2-yard line. Little running room down the sidelines across the 30, 35. So Brandon James again gives Robert Morris decent field position.
Back over the Cougars by number 8, Sean Roche. There is a penalty marker on the field.
And apparently there was a penalty flag down there, so we'll see what that is going to be all about. Sean Roche on the tackle on that kickoff return.
Back in the back. On the return
That'll go against
number
the Eagles.
15. Will be half the distance from the spot of the foul. First down, Robert Morris.
Eagles had just 2 penalties for 20 yards in the first half, but they've been hurt by 3 quick ones already. 2 personal fouls on 1 play. A roughing the passer call, and then the out-of-bounds hit late hit on Rocky James that gave St. Francis the ball at the 4-yard line and immediately turned into the Justin Green touchdown run. So now Cody Steele will take the snap from inside his 2-yard line. Looking, a quick throw and completes. Across the 10, they'll bring it out to the 14-yard line. Quick hitting play that time, gets some of the yards back, and Michael Berry with his second catch of the night. Big junior, he had 29 catches a year ago. Check it, 24 catches, 3 touchdowns, and over 300 receiving yards. Picks up 7 that last catch. Ball now spotted just short of the 15-yard line for Robert Morris. Brookshire into the game, wide to the right side. Up on the slot left side is Michael Moss. Shotgun formation now for Cody Steele. Steele calling the signals, looks to Clark. Clark trying to find a hole, does not find out much of one. Trying to push the file and getting some yardage up close to the 20-yard line, and that is going to be good for a first down.
And number 54.
Mitchell Thornberry trying to help out the silver and blue with that tackle.
54 Mitchell Thornberry.
It nonetheless will be 1st and 10 for Robert Morris with 9:29 remaining in this third quarter. Spotted at the Eagle 20-yard line. Same set with 2 wide to the left side. Cougars drop 4 back in coverage as Clark looking for running room. USF starting to adjust a little bit to those off-tackle runs. One of the big linemen getting up slowly for Robert Morris. I believe that was Big Justin Moore, the 340-pound junior tackle. Nonetheless, Clark able to eke out about 3 yards to bring up 2nd down and 7. 35-3 USF. They stayed basically with the same receiving crew. Keith Franklin in. Now comes wide to the right side. They have 2 wide to the short side to the right. Berry, though, flip-flops tight to the left. And here is Steele looking, the rush is on. Escaped, now dumps the ball off. That's a catch at the 24. And then Schumacher cleaned that up in a hurry. Catch was made by Brookshire, but he did not have much to work with. In fact, that's going to be a gain of about 1.5 yards, net gain, short of the 25 at the 24. Cougars working with a down 3 defensive alignment. Jamesich in the middle, although he's wandering around right now. Thornberry at left defensive end. And it looks like Swartz will be the man in the middle. It'll be 3rd down and a long 5 with 7:51 remaining in the quarter. Clark flip-flops to the right side of Steele. Here's Steele, looks, steps up in the pocket. They've got him wrapped up for a sack. Steele went down, and I think that's Jordan. No, it's going to be Jamesich again that got to him wrapped up. Remember, he had 6 sacks a year ago.
Sack by number 97, James Jamesich to the Cougars.
So 4th down and even longer, as the Eagles will have to punt the ball away once again. And Kavich sets up at the USF 49 on the punt return. This time the Eagle punter will wait for that snap around inside his own 3-yard line. Cougars do have 10 men up at the line of scrimmage. They're coming, and the kick is away. Sailing ball, Kavich trying to find it, does have it, steps out of a tackle, works to midfield, gets away from one. There's a penalty flag thrown as Madden will bring it inside the 45 to the 43, at least for a moment. We'll check that penalty. Generally, it will go against the kick return team.
By number 10, Stephen Michaelchuk. There's a penalty marker on the field.
Again, Bob Bushy, our referee, will let us know what that one is about.
We go back in the back. I'm going to return to number 41, 10 yards from the side.
Wilbur Cole is whistled for the illegal block in the back. So that'll cost them some yardage. Cougars had 3 penalties in the first half for 40 yards. So instead of starting 1st and 10 in Eagle territory, penalty is going to move the ball back inside the Cougar 40-yard line to the 38. So Matt Crable brings his offensive unit back out there once again. Wants to throw on first down. Screens the ball, tipped away, and that was close. As Steven Mikulicek got a hand on it, a left hand to knock it down. And he, had he been able to gain control of that, might have had clear sailing for 6 points the other way. Crable did not have much trajectory. It was kind of a little high line drive pass that the 6'2" defensive end made a great play on. Second down and 10, too wide to the right. Crispman is in at 6'6" to the near side. Here's P.J. Dean looking for running room. Nicely picks his way across the 40 up to about the 43-yard line. That's going to leave him about 4 yards short of the first down stick on this third down call coming up. Cougars trying to reach their own 48-yard line on this snap. They were 3 of 7 on first down, on third down attempts in the first half. Clock inside, 6.5 minutes time remaining here in quarter 3 action. This time too wide to the right, including Schmeling up in the slot. 2 safeties back defensively as Crable looks to throw again. Quickly, Crispman's got it. He's got the first down. Yes, he does, up at midfield. The big guy at 6'6". He's got all the tools, folks. Crispman, 6'6", junior, 230 pounds. He looks like he's a subcoat clone. Physically, he's got all the tools, still kind of learning the game, and still just a junior. But I expect he may have a big year for St. Francis. 35-3 our score, 1st and 10 now, as Crable at midfield looks, hands the ball. Dean works to the right on the handoff, angled run. He's got running room inside the 40, 35. Finally wrapped up from behind, brings it down to the 43-yard line of Robert Morris University. P.J. Dean in 2016 did not play last year due to injury. He had 91 carries for 456 yards, averaged 5 yards a carry and 5 rushing touchdowns, and he is a big addition back, and he is still just a junior. 1st and 10, though, at the 33-yard line now as the Cougars beginning to put something together once again. Schmeling in the slot this time to the left side. As Crable out of the gun now, waits for the snap, wants to throw, 2-step drop, pump fake, scrambling to his right, now is hit and dropped. So they got to him back around the 38-yard line.
By number 36, Thomas Jackson.
That'll, by the way, credit for that safety coming up there, Thomas Jackson, a 6'1" sophomore. So that'll put the ball back at the 38-yard line and bring up second down and 15.
Robert Morris, 38-yard line.
Yanni Cooper now checking into the ball game. Coach Downey starting to filter in some of the other new numbers. Dylan Hunley is checked into the ball game up in the slot to the left side. Here is Dean, starts left, works right, stops, steps out of the tackle. Now still on his feet, Dylan's way to the 35, and down, gets that yardage lost back to the 33-yard line. And it'll bring up third down and about, let's see, where are they going to set that ball down? P.J. Dean, very patient. Just bobbing and weaving. Now we've got player still sitting down. That's middle linebacker Kareem Hammond, slow to get up, so they'll come out and tend to him. So we're going to have an injury timeout with 3:49 remaining in this third quarter. The Cougars on top here at home by 32 points. And we'll step out with a timeout. 35-3 our score. And this is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
This is the first time I've been able to do this kind of more complete understanding or view of your body. One of the things that's really important about this is that it's kind of legitimizing us as athletes.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
On 3rd and 9, Crable dials up, spins to his left side, hits Rocky James with an apparent first down at the 15-yard line, but there was a penalty flag thrown.
There's a penalty mark.
So let's see what that's going about, and the Cougars are backing up. Well, Robert Morris was...
Offense, number 72, 10 yards from the
And
previous
then
spot.
James caught with a hold. That'll wipe out that catch by Rocky James for the first down. It was Robert Morris that was really affected by penalties, especially at the start of the second half. One with back-to-back personal fouls that gave Justin Green first and goal at the 4, and he immediately capitalized with a touchdown run. Now it's going to be third down with the ball back at the 42-yard line. Third down and 19. Cougars trying to reach the 23-yard line. 3 back in coverage. In fact, they drop an umbrella, 5 back as Crable looking to throw. They pinch it from the outside. Throws to the left. That's a ball up for grabs and intercepted. Chrisman was the intended receiver, but stepping in front, that was Brandon James with the interception.
Crable's pass intended for number 11, Will Chrisman, is intercepted. And number 3, Brandon James.
James will have the ball back for Robert Morris at the 3-minute mark. Now 1st and 10 Eagles, as they will take over at their own 19-yard line.
Over 1st and 10 on their own 19-yard line.
So Matt tonight has run for a touchdown. He's thrown for a touchdown, and now he has thrown his first interception of the season. So the Eagles get it back. They'll open up with an empty backfield. 4 wide effectively to the left side as Steele steps up in the pocket. Now dancing, throws short, and a ball fought for and incomplete. Well, are they going to call? Oh, you got to be kidding. Stan Jackson had his hands all over the ball, but a penalty flag was thrown right at that spot.
There's a penalty marker on the field.
From here, that looked like a perfectly good defensive play by Stan Jackson.
Pass interference on the defense, number 22.
Wow.
Spot foul, automatic first down.
You can hear the crowd reaction. Jackson had 3 interceptions a year ago, 8 passes broken up, 11 passes defended, 20 tackles, 1 for loss, and 1 fumble recovery. And just from here, an excellent defensive play to strip the ball away. Don't know what they were looking at that time. But it'll be 1st and 10, Robert Morris with a break at their own 28-yard line. Some days are like that. Steele now out of the shotgun. 2 wide receivers again to the short side. One of them comes in motion to the wide side to the right. Steele looks this way, looks, throws to a spot. That one knocked down. Right in and out of the hands. That was Caleb Summers that came close to a chance for an interception. The 212-pound senior.
Steele's pass incomplete.
He's out of Elkhart Memorial High School. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Eagles bring in some new personnel now on this 2nd down and 10 ball coming up. They try to reach their own 38-yard line, and they'll have Kalen Brookshire as the lone wide to the right. Jackson's got the coverage about 8 yards off. Cougars come up from coverage the other way. Here's a crossing pattern. That was way high, and Stan Jackson had the best shot at the ball. Little post corner run that time by Brookshire, but Steele was well off the mark with the pass attempt. And now it's 3rd down and 10. Robert Morris, 3 of 8 and 3rd down opportunities in the first half. Clock at 2:41, time remaining. Blake Blaker is in defensively, left defensive end for USF now. Marcus Stepp, kind of a rover back, if you will, defensively. Steele out of the shotgun again, needs 10 yards, looking, screens the ball left side, ball bobbled, but then grabbed, and here's Clark, close to a first down. I'll tell you what, that little guy with the ability to keep his balance and shrug off initial hits And Scampers, it depends where they mark him down. It looks like he's short by about close to a yard. It'll be 4th and 1. And trailing at 35-3 with just over 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Let's see if Jared Williamson says, let's gamble for a yard, and he will. Unless they try to draw St. Francis offside. Straight eye formation under center. Steele, hard count, trying to draw USF off. Backs away, play clock at 9. Now looking again. We're down to 6, we're down to 5. Looking, does run the play, gives to Clark. Clark is going to push the pile for a first down across the 4-yard line. So the gamble pays off on 4th and 1. And Robert Morris will continue to have possession of the football in the final 1:45 of this quarter. Their only score came on a 39-yard field goal by Donnie Young back in the second quarter. They have not scored a touchdown so far tonight. They have 1st and 10 at their own Eagle 41-yard line. Steele now back in the shotgun formation. 2-step drop, looks, throws to the left, dumps it off. Clark pushed out of bounds that time immediately. He will gain yardage up to about the 44. Jalen Moss had the coverage that time, not messing around, just immediately pushing him out of bounds on the far sidelines, not trying to make a big hit. So it'll be 2nd down and 7. Clock running. We are at exactly 1 minute time running in this third quarter. Now Keith Franklin, one of the 3-wide package, trips to the right side for the Eagles. They've not shown that formation much tonight. Steele looking short side left, gets away, now scrambles to his left and trying to run as much as he can, get some of that yardage back. And the Cougars had him trapped back around the 35, could not bring him down. He will get back some of that lost yardage. They'll mark him running out of bounds at the 42, so to bring up 3rd down and 8 as they try to reach the Cougar 49. Should have time for at least one more play call by the Eagles. Clock is running with 21 seconds to play in this third quarter. 2 wideouts to the short side again, including Brookshire. Cody Steele, shotgun formation again, 2-step drop, looks, throws to the left, and that one is incomplete. A low thrown ball. Cougars had 2 coverage, including Jalen Moss. So that'll bring up 4th down. Still with 3.7 seconds remaining. So it'll be the Eagles on with a punt coming up. And that should pretty well end this third quarter.
The Cougars, number 1, Matt Tomakevich.
Tyler Haas is in there to punt the ball away inside the 30 at the 28. High snap, got it, kick is away. High, floating kick. Tomakevich will hit it, let it hit. Take his angle bounce near side, out of bounds around the USF 30 or 31. So time is out in this third quarter. Big third quarter though for USF. Green with a pair of touchdowns, one of an 80-yard kickoff return touchdown and then a 4-yard touchdown run. It's the Cougars on top here, ranked number 1 by 32, as we'll head to the fourth quarter. This is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Concussions. They're a concern for parents of athletes in any sport. That's why Parkview Sports Medicine is leading the way with the area's first concussion clinic. Our integrated sports medicine team utilizes an innovative, evidence-based approach to manage athletic-related head injuries in those 14 and older, providing comprehensive care to get the athlete you love safely back in play. To schedule an appointment, call Parkview Sports Medicine at 266-4007. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Back around the 26-yard line. Matt Crable still in as we start this fourth quarter. Rixey out there as a wideout. Cougars started with the offensive line, averaging 283-man tackle. Landon Myers at center. Austin Smoger, Nick Shoemaker at guards. Ryder Burkett and Reese Roney at the tackles. As second down and longer now. Out of the gun, Crable looks left, now checks off, completes. Rixey's got it. Stop and go move. Brings it to the 30, then up to the 35-yard line. Gets that lost yardage back. All in all, about 10 yards, but it'll bring up a third down. Let's call it 6. Situation for Matt Crable and the Cougars trying to reach their own 41-yard line on this snap now. Rocky James splits wide to the left side, slot left. It will be Matt Kamakevich. Rixey stays in, the lone wide to the right. Chris Smith is in there off the wing to the left side. There was motion. Here's Crable, looks, throws quickly. Rixey's got it, spins away, trip-toeing on the sidelines, and he did step out of bounds at the 49, first and 10 USF. Nice job. Dan Rixey, first of all, made the catch. Shook off the tackle, tiptoed down the right sidelines, trying to keep his balance, and did so until he reached the 49 of USF. First and 10. They moved the chains. Wideouts remain the same with James and Kamakevich to the wide side to the left, Rixey to the short side to the right. Corners playing well off about 8 to 10 yards. Here's P.J. Dean, curls up the middle, has running room. Now grabbed from behind, spins around, gets into neutral territory, runs to the 46-yard line. Cougars right now going no huddle as they hurry up to the line of scrimmage. Smith sets up quickly on the wing. It'll be second down and 5. Dean again starts right, looking for a hole, cuts back to his left, and powers his way to the 40, got pushed back, and they're going to mark him down outside the 40 at the 41. Thought he had another yard there, but officials say no. A little change of pace before that snap as the Cougars hurried up to the line, trying to catch the Eagles in the change defensively. But it's good for a first down, first and 10. Cougars at the Eagle 41. Lock inside, 12 and a half minutes, time remaining. I don't want to bring bad luck, but so far no rain here at Darcy Stadium. No umbrellas out, and that's good. Too wide to the right, the wide side of the field. Crable hands the ball. Here's Dean. They've wrapped him up again. P.J. leans back to the line of scrimmage, maybe gains about 6 inches. Well read defensively that time by the Eagle defense. Pinching in there was the defensive end. That's Vinny Cady. They'll keep the ball on the ground to keep the clock moving. That's Crable on a quarterback keeper call. So bring up third down. He'll take the ball to the 40, so it'll be third down and 9. And it's time to get out the roster, folks. Kalen DeRozier checks into the ball game. P.J. Dean is out. Don't believe we're going to see Justin Green anymore tonight. He certainly has had a big night. DeRozier in, flanked to the left of Matt Crable out of the shotgun. Smith offset to the right. Here's the drop, stepping up. Crable throws to a spot that's too high, even for the 6'6" Will Chrisman. No chance on that one. It'll bring up fourth down and 9 with the ball at the 40-yard line. Cougars look like they're going to run a play. Still 11 minutes remaining. Clock stopped on the incompleted pass. Crable now is 12 out of 19 on the night for 149 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Chrisman stays in, split wide to the left. Schmeling flanked out to the left in the slot. Rixey wide to the right to the short side. Crable taking a look again, wants to throw, rolls to his right, buys time, throws on the run, and laying out for Rixey to come up with it. He's got it. Rixey, that ball was thrown nicely by Crable. Low and to the outside. Rixey, the only one that was going to have a chance at it, laid out towards the sideline, made the catch. And the Cougars gamble on 4th down, pays off. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line of Robert Morris. Trying to keep an eye now on these Cougars coming in. P.J. Dean checks back into the game. Schmelling's out there in the slot to the left side. Smith off the wing to the right, and now Crable looks like he's going to call a timeout. So that'll be a timeout called by the Cougars with 10:26 remaining. It'll be 1st and 10. USF at the 24. The Eagles, when we return, 35-3. Number 1 USF in command. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Well, Matt Crable, the son of former linebacker great and All-American linebacker at Notre Dame, Bob Crable, and has played very well, I think, in his debut for the USF Cougars. He was a transfer from Grand Valley State. Of course, everybody knows that they have really done so well in Division II of the NCAA, and is listed on the roster for USF as a sophomore. Motion, Schmeling, right to left. And here is Crable, checks off, throws the screen to the right. That's Crispin inside the 10-yard line and knocked out of bounds around the 9. They say stepped out of bounds at the 9. Nice look that time. And they put Schmeling in motion right to left. Cougars ran that play so much last year effectively, but in that case, they would actually flip that ball. It's a little touch pass to the man in motion. But Crable looked off of that, and crossing pattern coming back left to right by Chrisman delivered it right on the numbers. It'll be 1st and goal now at the 9-yard line. Under 10 minutes remaining in regulation. 2 protectors in. Schmeling in motion again. They'll give the ball to him. Schmeling looking for a block, did not get it, and is run back. Let's see, they wrap up around the 8-yard line. As 3 of the Eagles were there. They just extended that one out very well.
Followed by 37, Kenny Kirkland, number 7, Rashawn Richards.
Kenny Kirkland is getting credit for being one of the Eagles getting in there to make that stop. So the ball will still be back at the 9. It'll be 2nd down still and goal. Now Crable coming over to the near sidelines. Play clock is down to 12. He hurries back to the huddle. Play clock at 7, at 6. USF hurries up to the line of scrimmage. Got to hurry on the snap at 3, at 2. They'll run a play. Crable wants to throw. Looks right side. Throws it in. No, it's short of the end zone inside the 5. Losing his feet was Chrisman. Caught the ball, but couldn't gather himself up, and is knocked down inside the 5 at the 3-yard line. So it will bring up 3rd down and goal from the 3.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
Crable has displayed a lot of patience, a lot of poise in his debut for USF at quarterback. Chrisman stays in. He's tight to the left side. Protectors are Chris Smith and P.J. Dean. Motion Schmeling. Counter run, P.J. Dean needs a block. Curls up, is not going to get there. Knocked down inside the 3. It'll bring up 4th down. Cougars have had some big runs tonight, but by and large, I think that head coach Jared Williamson will be very pleased with how they have, for the most part, defended the runs by St. Francis. Now the Cougars, well, they still mark that ball at the 3, so it's 4th down and goal. Let's see what the Cougars come up with now. Schmeling in motion again. Counter run. Dean hurries to the right side. It's a touchdown. Oh, they threw the ball. Well, that wouldn't make me out. And they've got the Damon Hunter, no, it's Nate Carson, seen wide out. Nate Carson on the catch. Crable completely pulled me up here. 3 yards on the touchdown pass at the 7:33 mark. Thought for sure they were running the football. So Gavin Gardner, Nepper with the hold. Kick is on the way and good. That'll make it 42-3 USF with a timeout remaining. 7:43 on the board, and we'll be back. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Choose from over 60 vehicles under $10,000. Visit drivekelly.com. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Cougars up by 39 points now.
Robert Morris, number 3.
Brandon James will set up once again in kick return. Crable now is 16 out of 22 through the air. Check it, 16 out of 23. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And here comes the kick down to the near side, fielded at the 15-yard line. Cut to the short side across the 25 up to the 30. And they may get another yard or 2 for the Eagles to set up now, and as we head into the home stretch of this ball game with under 7.5 minutes time remaining in regulation. Cody Steele so far tonight is 10 of 21 through the air, 87 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Clark with 19 carries for 77 yards. They have been the 2 main performers tonight so far for the Eagles, but they're still looking for their first touchdown of the season. They'll have 2 protectors in. New quarterback is in. We'll check that for you momentarily. Here's a catch in the flats. As it'll be a gain out across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. The new quarterback in there is number 2, that's Jake Vincent. He's a freshman, 6'2", 170, out of Hampshire, Illinois. So Jake Vincent getting some reps now in the late going. And his first pass is complete, good for about 6 yards. Let's call it second down and a long 4. Vincent out of the shotgun, 2 protectors in, 2 wide to the left. Vincent drops to throw, loads again to the right's got a catch, and that's good for a first down. Right into the hands of Michael Moss, who spins out of 1 tackle at the 46, maybe gives another yard to the 47. Cougars now in the secondary. They've got Stan Jackson in there.
First down, Robert Morris.
Jamison stays in there up on the defensive line. Try to check some of the other numbers as we have a chance. Christian Vella, I believe that might be, now check it, it is Adam Hoffer out of New Haven on the field defensively. First and 10. Vincent out of the gun once again. Drops the throw, steps up in the pocket, now runs, pump fake, and is run out of bounds after a gain of about a yard or 2 short of midfield. See where they're going to see stepped out of bounds. I think around the 48-yard line. Kept faking the throw with his arm as he was running, but he was getting very close to the line of scrimmage.
Gain of 1 brings up 2nd and 9.
He'll gain a yard, 2nd down and 9. Clock now inside 5.5 minutes time remaining. Jordan May stays down there on the defensive front 4 as well for St. Francis. So the regulars up front remain the same. 2 safeties back. Low snap, but Vincent's got it. Now throws the right side, looking down there, ball incomplete, and a penalty flag thrown. That may be Stan Jackson again.
Vincent's pass intended for Ferguson is incomplete, but there's a penalty marker on the field.
No, check it. I believe that penalty is going to go against Anthony Moore. So that'll give
defensive pass interference, number 23. 15-yard interference spot, first down.
So the penalty will move the ball inside the USF 40-yard line. Ready to mark it off. They'll set it down now at the 37. It'll be a 1st and 10 Eagles. And again, trying to get into position to salvage something late as they get ready to head home to face Davenport University next Saturday in Illinois. Keith Franklin stays in as a wideout to the near side. As Jake Vincent, blitz being shown by USF up the middle. Low snap, trying to find the handle, can't find it. Scramble for it. Cougars think they've got it, and they do at the 46-yard line of St. Francis. Let's see if we get Mitchell Thornberry on the fumble recovery. Vincent never got to him, trying to find the handle on it.
46-yard line.
So USF will have it 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. Last report we had down at Marion in a delayed game, it was 21-0 in favor of Marion, but that was back in the first quarter at 8. We're supposed to start at 6, move that game to 7:05. Now it'll be 1st and 10 as, let's see if it's Clay Cenarius, and they're wanting to throw the ball. It completes inside the 45, and that'll be a catch down to the 42. See if that's Jordan Cannon in there.
Number 86, Kyle May.
No, it's Kyle May on the receiving end. Certainly got to go to the roster now. Clay Cenarius, though, seeing some snaps. The 6'4", 206-pound junior.
Franklin play by number 27, Billy Johnson. That play results in a golden Hyundai.
Cenarius out of Waterford, Michigan. Out of the pistol alignment now, 1st and 10. Looks to hand the ball off, and here's a run between guard and tackle inside the 35 down to the 33. Is that Dylan Hunley in there? Well, they've also got Ethan, or check it, Kalen DeRosier.
He's a ball player.
Might have been DeRosier. Thought I saw 5, but that's a good gain of 8 yards, though. 2nd down and short. Cenarius looking to take the snap once again. Looks to hand the ball off. Here's a cut. DeRosier this time battles for the 1st down stick inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. Good tough run that time.
Tackled by number 6, Kareem Hannah, number 36, Tyrese Hill.
You know, Eli Wallace also shares that number. I said DeRosier. That might well be Eli Wallace out of LaGrange, Indiana. Sometimes the double numbers can mess you up. I believe that is Wallace. Runs for 1st down, 1st and 10. They'll go to him again. This time they've got him trapped off the handoff of lost back around the 33-yard line. It is Eli Wallace. My apologies. But new numbers still coming in there. Martell Williams, freshman running back out of Lawrence North, will trot onto the field. And they do have Kyle May staying in there, wide to the left. It'll be 2nd down and about 15. Cenarius loads up, fires to the right. He's got a catch at the 26-yard line. 27, Yanni Cooper on the catch that time.
Pass complete to number 80.
So May out there.
Yanni Cooper.
But Cooper. And they show Jay Siegel into the game as a wideout. Siegel's a freshman wideout out of Lafayette Jefferson. Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. Inside 2.5 minutes time remaining. Cenarius, time of the pocket. Loads, fires to the right, in and out of the hands of Cooper. Left his feet, hit him in the pads, but he could not haul it in.
Intended for number 80, Johnny Cooper, is incomplete.
So that'll bring up 4th down and 9. Kevin Donnelly may just run a play here. Ian Wellman, by the way, as one of the backup offensive linemen in there, along with John Doherty. See if that's Rob Brown at center. That'll take the clock down to 2:13. And USF on 4th and 9 looks like they do want to run a play, but there's going to be a timeout taken right here. That'll stop the clock. 2:13 remains. Cougars with 4th and 9, but game in hand, leading at 42-3 over the visiting Robert Morris University Eagles. We'll be back at 30. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM. I probably will not have a
project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Still 2:13 remaining in this season opener for both teams. Cougars will have a week off to... By the way, Dylan Hunley is in the ball game. Where's number 5? He's up in the slot to the left side. 4th down and 9. And Kevin Donnelly says, so, well, let's go. Let's see what happens. Corners drop off in coverage as here's Cenarius throws the ball, and that's incomplete. He had a man wide open, very close to the first down stick, but incomplete. Trying to find that new number that we just, Jay Siegel, I believe it was. Jay Siegel. Freshman, but not on target, so it'll be a 4th down stop.
27-yard line.
And now the Eagles will take over the football 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. Eagles with still 2 timeouts remaining. In fact, both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. Still some new changes for St. Francis defensively. Justin Groves, freshman defensive tackle out of South Bend St. Joe. Vincent loads, fires, fingertip catch is caught at the down marker. Not much more there, so it'll be a short gain. That's about it. As they put the ball into the hands of Edward Clark, still in there. Freshman running back. Clock running at a minute 45. And time ticking away on the Eagles, still looking for their first touchdown of the night. 1 for 3 tonight in field goal attempts. Got a 39-yarder out of Donnie Young. Has missed from 36 and from 40. Here's the draw coming up, a run to the right side. And a gain out to about the 35-yard line. Short of the first down, so the clock continues to run.
32, Ezekiel Tulloch, the ball player.
Tulloch is in, the freshman. We saw him briefly in the first half. 5'7" freshman and 170-pounder. His gain will bring up 3rd down and 3. And right now we are at the 1 minute time mark remaining in this ball game. Keith Franklin wide to the left, 2 wide to the left. They'll run the ball again. And a good one for a first down, and that's Tulloch into the clear. Inside the 40, 35 in a foot race, and finally stumbles all the way inside the 15-yard line of St. Francis, down to the 13-yard line with 42.8 seconds remaining. And a good run, and you know that Eagle fans are going to see a lot more of Ezekiel Tulloch. Cougars trying to keep him out of the end zone. Final 42 seconds. Eagles do have 2 timeouts remaining. And St. Francis now will take a timeout and want to make sure their defense is set, regardless of who's out there. Good chance of learning experience for the young guys. 42-3, St. Francis. on tap. They're going to go 1-0 to start the season. We'll be back with the final of this ball game, Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Justin Green, we did a pretty good job on P.J. Dean, but how about Green? When he broke free for big gains. 3 touchdowns tonight, one on a kickoff return of 80 yards, another one of 52 yards. Vincent reloads, throws left side, ball is dropped. Good defense by St. Francis is stepping up. That was Ryan Johnson that went right through the ball carrier, separated the ball. Takes the clock down to 37.6 seconds remaining. Still at the 13. And second down and 10. Eagles can pick up a first down at the 3. Joey Lamping out there defensively. In the dying moments of this ball game, Vincent out of the gun, has the snap again, looks to the right, throws to the corner, and the ball is caught, I think, for a touchdown. It is a touchdown. So Vincent throwing to the right corner, and we'll see if we can catch the number. That'll be a 13-yard touchdown pass at the 31-second mark.
Vincent's pass complete. Number 12, 30.
They're going to give credit for that to, Cody Steele on the receiving end. If we heard right, that's why we're a little bit confused. Meanwhile, the extra point is on the way. Right-footed kick is no good. So it will be 42-9. Robert Morris does get on the board with a late touchdown at the 31-second mark. And we'll keep things right here. And we'll stay with Cody Steele until we get a change on that. The kick was no good, however. So it will make it a 42-9 ball game with still 31.5 seconds remaining in this ball game. Hope to get you an updated score on that St. Xavier Marion game before we leave the air. Last we heard it was 21-0 Knights. Came in with a number 15 ranking, but a home game tonight, and obviously feeling something to prove, taking on the number 6 St. Xavier Cougars. And St. Francis will play both those teams later in the year. Well, now you got to ask yourself, would the Eagles be tempted to go onside, trying to get another shot, really have nothing to lose? Pretty much can be assured that St. Francis will run a couple of snaps and take a knee if and when they get the ball. And we'll see if we've got an onside attempt. They do spread out. Cougars with 6 men up within about 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. And the kick is, though, deep, long and end over end. Kalmakevich calls for a fair catch and has it at the 11-yard line. So USF don't think we'll see timeouts by the Eagles, but you never know.
By Tim Bramley.
And we'll see how the final seconds do evolve here in the late going.
Cougars will begin first and 10 on their own 25-yard line.
Well, they're going to move that ball up to the 25. Scenario stays out there as a quarterback. And Scenarius, let's see if he just is going to hand the ball off, and that is a gain. I believe it's give to Eli Wallace again. That rolls across the 25 for about a yard and a half. And the clock stopped with 21.9 seconds remaining. I believe the Eagles, did they call it? No, there was a penalty flag thrown at the 36. We'll see what that's about.
After the unspiritual on the offense, 15 yards, still second.
Penalty is against St. Francis. Unsportsmanlike conduct, did not catch the number.
85 and a half.
I'm not going to hazard a guess at who the culprit was for St. Francis, but the ball will be moved back to about the 12-yard line. And that now they will wind the clock, and St. Francis does not have to take a snap, and they remain huddled up. Well, now they break out of the huddle. They're down to 12 seconds. Let's see if Cenarius does try to get one more snap into the ball game. He probably thinks, why not? I've waited a long time for this. They'll give the Wallace again, cuts it up the middle across the 15, out to the 20-yard line as triple zeros come up on the clock, and the Cougars do win this ball game in commanding fashion. They will come away with a home opening 42-9 victory over Robert Morris University Eagles. We will step out and we'll be back with our post-game coverage. Cougars with the win, ranked number 1. And with a week off coming up to heal up a little bit before they go on the road. 42-9, the final score here tonight at Darcy Stadium. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana. Okay, run whatever you want now with the post-game open, and then I'll just recap the scoring, and we're out of here, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending tonight's game, and a special thanks to all of our USF Cougar supporters. Our presenting sponsor tonight, Physicians Health Plan of Northeast Indiana. Other sponsors include Lembrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep, Lembrook Hyundai, Ford Financial, Parkview Sports Medicine, Pizza Hut, Hyatt Place, and Midwest America Federal Credit Union.
Teams out exchanging handshakes. Is this one in the books? As the Cougars score 42 on their opener here at Darcy Stadium tonight, and they come away with a victory 42-9 over Robert Morris University. Looking at the line score of the ball game, Cougars got 2 touchdowns on the board in the opening quarter, added one more before intermission. They led Robert Morris 21-3 at the halftime break. 2 more Cougar touchdowns in quarter 3, and then did get a touchdown in the fourth quarter, but so did finally Robert Morris on the touchdown toss of 13 yards with just 31.5 seconds remaining. Let's take a look at the individual scoring as Matt Crable, the young new quarterback replacing Nick Ferrer. You know that he's got to be feeling a lot of pressure when you're coming in and basically replacing an All-American who threw for over 4,000 yards and 39 touchdowns the season previous. But Matt Crable really played well, showed a lot of poise, I thought, delivered the ball by and large on target, and actually ran for a touchdown, the first Cougar score of the season, good for 2 yards at the 3:06 mark. And we'll call it a quarterback draw, running to his right into the end zone and dragging a tackler in there. Gavin Gardner came on, added the extra point, and it was 7-0 USF. Then Justin Green doing what Justin Green has done in his career. Little hole up the middle, broke free into the secondary, cut it to the right side, scampered 52 yards for a touchdown with 21 seconds remaining in the quarter. Gardner added the extra point, 14-0, number 1 ranked St. Francis after 1 quarter. Eagles did have a chance to get on the board. They had a chance at a 36-yard field goal, but that one was wide right by Donnie Young. He would come back, though, at the 4:24 mark and knock one through successfully from 39 yards out. So the Eagles are on the board, trailing at 14-3 early in that second quarter, but still time for USF to get on the board. It would start with a kickoff that was fumbled away by the Eagles, recovered by Marcus Stepp at the 37-yard line. It took Crable just one play to find Nick Rixey in the backside of the Eagle defense. He would take it over his shoulder into the end zone, good for 37 yards on that fumble recovery, turned into a 37-yard touchdown at the 151 mark. Gardner with the touchdown, with the extra point, 21-3. Cougars headed to intermission. And how about the start of the second half? Justin Green, who returned a year ago 2 touchdowns for touchdowns, had a long of 96 and averaged over 30 yards of kickoff returns on 17 kickoff returns from a year ago. Took the opening kickoff, kind of bobbled a little bit at the 20-yard line, one hand of the ball, took off down the left sidelines, 80 yards to the end zone, to the house. Justin Green at the 14:45 mark. Cougars got an early touchdown to start the second half. They were on top at 28-3. Justin Green again at the 10:41 mark after 2 back-to-back personal foul penalties gave St. Francis first and goal at the 4. Green would take it, running to his right into the end zone for 4 yards to make it 35-3. Eagles had an interception. They could not do anything with it. They took over at their own 19-yard line. But the USF Cougars in the fourth quarter would get the ball back and set up a 3-yard touchdown as Crable found Nate Carson on a crossing pattern. 3 yards for a touchdown at the 7:33 mark. Gardner again would add the extra point, 42-3. That would be the final scoring of the ball game for St. Francis. They were up at 39 at that point, but Vincent would come in, young freshman quarterback, Jake Vincent, and he would find, they tell us it was Cody Steele, in a fly pattern down the right sidelines, good for 13 yards and a touchdown at the 31.5-second mark. Extra point try was no good, and that's the way this game would end in a 42-9 victory for the University of St. Francis Cougars. Again, no game next Saturday. Cougars will have a week off. They'll prepare for the University of St. Francis Fighting Saints. That'll be 2 weeks from tonight in Joliet, Illinois. Actually a 4 o'clock Fort Wayne kickoff time, 3 o'clock locally if you're driving over there to Joliet. And then the Cougars will have their next home game 2 weeks from tonight. Actually 3 weeks from tonight, on Saturday, September the 15th. It'll be a 12 noon kickoff, high noon, against the Fighting Bees of St. Ambrose University. As far as the Eagles, they will be home. Their home opener next Saturday in Arlington Heights, Illinois. They'll take on Davenport University. So the Cougars with an impressive opening victory here tonight at home, and they win in going away fashion 42-9. That's going to wrap things up here tonight from Bishop John M. Darcy Stadium. Special thanks to our studio producer. His name was Robert Score. Until 2 weeks from today, I'm Joe Parson. So long, everybody. Thanks so very much for listening. Okay, Chief, thanks for the help.
The Chapel Project is the most